Yo, what's going on, man?
Hello, everybody.
Yo,
Good.
how's it going, Grae?
Apart from having to watch 3 episodes of Rings of Power.
Yeah, man. Oh, like the thing is, I completely forgot until I think Gary was like, "All right, it's time to watch it." I was like, "Oh, what? Oh yeah, it's this week." I completely forgot that was out, man. But yeah, holy crap, dude. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. And yes, we do have a guest, if you don't know, but he's going to be hopping on a little bit later. So I believe we're going to be talking about Rings of Power, and then I believe Mark will be coming on in a bit. But yes, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. We already got some people hanging out in the chat. We got Wayfarer hanging out. What's going on, dude? We got Miko. We got Melodic Method. We got Ogami Goro hanging out. We got Unacceptable Views. We got Denny Tate. You got Nagranol. Pretty sure Nagranol is probably watching a bunch of other stuff too. So, but what's going on? We have the mods in the chat. We got Dave hanging out in the chat, and we are also live on Rumble too. But yes, we have a bunch of stuff we're going to be talking about. Rings of Power, talking about that, and Amandla Stenberg's her response to the cancellation, and Dustborne, Concord, and of course Black Myth Wukong stuff that we are going to be talking about. But yes, man. But before we move forward and talk about a whole bunch of stuff, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends, and if you guys haven't already done so, do go ahead and check out our pinned comment right over there. Please go ahead and follow MarcTheCyborg. There should be his link tree right over there and in the description below too. But if you guys haven't already done so, go ahead and check out some of our merch right over here. We have our Project Eggroll merch. Go ahead and get some of your Project Eggroll merch right over here. We do have our Dragon Ball Z one, the Asian, and then we do have the Project Eggroll. They're Asian and they have a podcast. We do have the Project Eggroll Hub, Chinks for Trump, and our other ones, which is the Let's Go Brandon. If you guys do happen to buy some of our merch, please do use promo code Asian to get 20% off your order. And if you guys do happen to like coffee, go ahead and check out Coffee Brand Coffee with our affiliate link down below. And do use Asian at checkout to get yourself some discount. I actually did get a recent one right over here. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. The Blueberry Cobbler. That thing is really good. I just got it in the mail. It's freaking delicious, man. It's freaking delicious. But yeah, go ahead and check that out if you guys want to. Please do use promo code Asian at checkout to get some of your savings. All right. We're going to basically freaking ass blast, freaking speed run this Rings of Power review. All right, I'm going to put this right over here. I'm going to put this right over here. Okay, Rings of Power Season 2, Ep 1 to 3 review. All right, this is going to be a spoiler. If you guys don't care, chat. If you guys don't care, you guys can hang out. But if you guys actually do care for some reason, you guys can step out because we are going to continue talking about it. So while we basically speed run through this, I do want to give a couple people more. It's got Vets talking. Yo, what is going on? Vets talking, hanging out, man. Binary Coils hanging out. We have Bruce. What's going on? We got Mavis hanging out, and we got Booming Bob. Man, there it is. And we have Denny Tate and Just JK hanging out. Yo, but anyways, all right, let's go ahead and talk about Rings of Power. Grae, what did you think about season 2, 3 episodes?
I agree with most people. It's already worse than season 1. Somehow they managed to do it with the apparent origin story of Sauron and the Disa girl bossing in episode 2, and then the the notorious Orc Lives Matter, which is my tagline.
That was the weirdest shit, man. Look, I'm gonna bring up this photo right over here. All right, I'm gonna bring up this photo. This comes to us from X-Ray, not X-Ray. What's it called? Star Wars girl, right over here, and it says, "I saw the tweets about Orc family. Didn't believe it was real. Unfortunately, it is." Yeah,
I didn't. I wasn't even looking at X when I watched it. When I watched episode 3, it's like, what the fuck is it? Is this legit? Then after I watched, I checked out X. It's like, oh shit, okay, so everyone's making a big deal out of it. It's not just me.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this, man? Then I posted our own.
Like, yeah, dude. Like when I saw it, because I'm like, wait, aren't the freaking orcs supposed to be like a force of nature, like evil?
Yeah, right? Malevolent species meant to destroy. that's what they were designed to do. It's like for some reason they're kind of like a living race, that sentient living race that wants to coexist. That's not what they are. That's not what you catch on in the original Peter Jackson trilogy.
Yeah.
You know these people, man.
So I have to go to war. Adar was like, yes, bitch, you got to go to war. It's a butter one of my kid. Oh man. And the thing is, like, I know a lot of people online, when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about these crazy, retarded, like loud liberals online who are like, oh, but you know, they're trying to compare orc people to black, like, or not, they're not people, orcs to black people. Like, have you seen that online? They're like, you know, it's sort of the same thing with Harry Potter, right? Oh, the goblins at the bank at Gringotts, they're actually Jewish people. And I'm just like, dude, how racist can you be? Yeah, oh yeah, it's so freaking cringe, man. And yeah, I'm not. That's like one of many things, but there's also this weird shit right over here. All right, right over here. I'm gonna pull this up right over here. That's Sauron. That freaking like 4'5" person is Sauron.
Yeah, it's like when I first this femboy is Sauron. Why? Like, with all your budget, you could have chosen a better actor, even though it's just a short scene, rather than this. I don't know. It's like it. Whenever you look at his face, no offense to the actual actor, it's like you're just not fit for this kind of role. It's like it has to be something intimidating, like I said, malevolent, or in a great evil power. That's not the face you kind of envision when you describe someone like that. But then I don't know. They're just trying to tick some checklist, I suppose.
Yeah,
Maybe he's 5'4", so it's like below average in terms of height. Maybe they're taking the short people checklist. I don't know.
Yeah, this is really bad. When I saw that, I was like, wait, is that supposed to be Sauron? And the thing is, like, Sauron's supposed to be like some crazy, like, omnipotent, like, being, supposed to be like insanely strong, unkillable, and then freaking Adar grabs the freaking crown, flips it upside down, and stabs him in the back. Like, how can Sauron not see that? Are you that dumb? And they ended up like killing him here. Like, all of them just fucking stabs him. He turns into this like weird blue goop monster. And there's like a rat or some shit like that in the sewers, and it got a hold of it, and it became this like weird worm sludge, and then reincarnated into Halbrand. I'm like, I don't care about Sauron's backstory. This is so stupid. I'm like, this is so no one, and it was long too. It was, how long is his backstory?
Long.
Yeah, he dies here.
Like, you even skip the part where he meets the old man, and the old man tells him
right
to,
here.
that one,
it's
that
like
one.
20 minutes of no, I don't care. 20 minutes of, dude, what the hell is this? I don't care about this, right? And it's another thing that's really bad as well, really, really freaking bad, is it's later on where he's like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to Celebrimbor, and then it's like, oh yeah, Galadriel said you shouldn't come back here. Come in. Just, what?
Yeah. Like, they made Celebrimbor incredibly, well, everyone in this show is kind of stupid anyway, but he didn't even bother to ask why. Why did Galadriel forbid this mysterious person from entering? And didn't they like wonder why he was like just standing in the rain for like several days without eating or drinking? It's like, you'd wonder why he doesn't have to do that, right? If he's just a normal human being. If he can just stand there for that long, and I don't know, it seems like normal. Like, are they building up to be like Galadriel 2.0, to be the sidekick, the intern, the Celebrimbor's intern? Is she like what, in cahoots with Halbrand? I don't know.
Yeah, so another really bad thing that I can remember, because I don't remember everything. I was falling asleep in episode 1. I'm like, dude, I don't care about any of this garbage. I think episode 1 revolves more about around Halbrand, and and then you see Galadriel chasing, God, wasn't it Elrond, because he took the 3 rings of power, the one that were given to the elves, and he's like, we shouldn't use this. So you gotta trust me. And then freaking the Elf King, who fucking has like the ring pops, he's bedazzled to the max, man. This guy is so flamboyantly gay looking. He has like 20,000 rings. He's like, I need one more. Give me that one more. And then like Elrond's like, no. And he jumps off the fucking river. And he goes to like an older elf, right? And he's like, yo, what do you think about this? And he was like, we must get rid of it, right? It's like it's evil. It's created by Sauron. And he's like, all right, cool. He brings it out to the lake, and then he opens it. He's like, ooh, I like this.
Shiny.
He puts it on, and he goes back. He freaking waddles back to the freaking Elf King, and Galadriel's like, yo, these rings are awesome. Check it out. Gives it to Galadriel. She puts it on, and then the Elf King puts it on, and then the tree comes back to life, right? The freaking elven tree. And then he's like, oh, cool. This thing is awesome. This is super cool. We need to make more. Celebrimbor, we need to make more. But I need to give them to the dwarves and the humans now. It's like, oh my God. So stupid. Yeah. And and the thing is that, like, don't get me wrong. The show, in terms of how it looks really freaking expensive.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. It's really, really expensive. It looks really, like, you can tell there's a lot of money that got spent into this. And you can't polish a turd. Like, you can only polish a turd so much, man. But what happened in episode 2?
Episode 2
was it the big reveal? Was it the reveal?
Durin.
Okay.
Durin, Disa, like, trying to come to terms with, like, Disa being the girl boss, trying to bring the two back together because Celebrimbor reached out to them. Oh, we can make you rings so you can address your mountain problem. Because, like, they're having problems with the mountain. They can't hear the mountain. I don't know the lore behind that, but, like, I know Disa sings to the mountain, right? And they get prosperity. I think that's how I understood what's going on. But yeah, they're having issues with the mountain, so they get a message from Celebrimbor. We can help you by giving you rings also. And we skipped the Jesus Halbrand part.
Yeah, freaking he goes into, like, he's talking to Celebrimbor, and then he's like, oh, so where you at? I'm gonna grab this really expensive, like fancy ass wine that I've been saving for such occasions, right? And then he fucking knocks it over because he gets scared, and then all the lights turn off. Like, don't you think that's a bad sign already? Like, all your lights turn off. And then all of a sudden, like, oh my God,
Brad disappears.
Yeah. Oh, I completely forgot about Feminem. Do you remember this?
I think that's an episode.
This is 2. It's episode 2.
Yeah, we even skipped the Harfoots and
because I don't care. That's the worst story.
It's such a side story that's not connected to any of them, or it's whatever connection they have. It's still so far away. That's why we forgot about it.
Yeah, the thing is that for Feminem here, the freaking the Slim Shady, I forgot this person was a female, an actual female, until she started talking. I'm like, oh yeah, I thought you were a guy, dude. It's really bad. Let me screw up through this to look for the part where he freaking becomes fucking rings he becomes Jesus. All right, I think here it is. All right,
almost there.
Yeah, there it is. Like, he basically, he comes out. He's like, I'm Jesus, right?
Yeah,
and it's like, it's so, like, here it is. It's just like, oh my God, man.
And like, he pulled off like a David Filoni in Ahsoka. You're gonna become the Lord of the Rings.
It's like how you said the name. Yo, great. He said the name.
Oh my God, best episode ever.
Oh shit, he said the title. You'll become the Lord of the Rings, and you, the Rings of Power. Season 2. It's like, oh shit. Oh man, yeah, it's just so bad, dude. Oh, I can't explain how bad this is. And go ahead.
It's like also, was that episode 1 where it's like Gandalf's like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm not tired. Oh, then he collapses, and then one of them just walks a little bit and, oh look, there's a well.
Yeah,
like it's writing. It's always like moment to moment. The writers don't know how to, like, subtlety and nuance, like, give hints on what's going to happen ahead. It's always on the spot. Like, oh, this is gonna happen right exactly after what happened previously, and for the sake of convenience. Like there's
Yeah.
no intricacy to it. Like there's it's lacking so much in depth, unlike where the previous source material, the legendary Peter Jackson trilogy. But
Yeah,
here we
man.
are.
And then and then I think episode 3 is when they go back to Numenor and they talk with what's it called again, the Queen Regent, the blind Queen Regent, and I think it was like Isildur's story, right? I believe that is episode 3. That's more or less episode 3.
Yeah. What's the name of the queen? Muriel getting overthrown by the
Oh
scheming.
yeah. Oh yeah, the Marx, yeah, Karl Marx looking motherfucker, the fucking Karl Marx guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh my god, I didn't see that coming.
There's a
didn't see
bird
that.
over there. Oh, and everyone, hey, Karl Marx. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Oh shit, man.
Because like they were already saying, oh, it's rare for eagles to appear during the coronation, and lo and behold, the eagle just suddenly pops out of nowhere. Oh,
Yeah.
what's his name? Farzad Pharaoh. I don't know. I don't give a shit. But
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's it's not good. Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite, probably my favorite actor so far is Isildur's horse.
Oh yeah, what was it, Becker?
Isildur's horse.
Whatever the name is. Yeah, man, you feel bad for that horse, man.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
he managed to take down 2 orcs on its own, and like, it's such an unnecessary scene, unless horses are really that powerful in Tolkien's universe. But
yeah,
I don't recall Becker being that prominent in season 1, unless I forgot.
Now, another thing that I didn't miss was in the first episode, where I think it's first episode, right? Where Adar captures Halbrand. He's like, you got to let me go. You got to let my people go because I'm Moses. He's like, why should I let you go? Because I know that he's back. Sauron's back. And he's obviously not me, of course, but I know who he is. And, I have the trust of the elves. So you got to let me go. It's like, dude, wouldn't you question him more? It's like, how would you know? How do you know who Sauron is? Like, you don't know who Sauron is. I've been alive for a lot longer. How do you know he's dead and now he's supposed to be coming back, right? So making a bunch of garbage. It's like, all right, cool, I trust you. All right, you can leave. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's not even. It's like his torture scenes. Do you remember? It's like someone with a wooden stick. It's like hitting me. Oh, that's it. It feels so cheap, and they're obviously holding it back from what it actually is.
Yeah,
like it doesn't look like it's torturing him. It looks like it's like getting hit by a whip by your mom or something like that. It doesn't look. It's not realistically depicted in a scenario where you're being tortured by these malicious beings, or you're being depraved of some. It looks so. That moment looked really cheap, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and with that controlling the ward thing, I don't know. I don't think that was necessary, just so you can stick it to one of the servants.
Yeah, so basically, I'm gonna pull up an image over here. Yeah, basically, Karl Marx over here. Basically, like all of the people thinks that Karl Marx is actually the true leader, and how the blind black lady, she's no leader anymore. And then like everyone's super happy and they're chanting his name, right? And then there's the ego in the back, and then it cuts to the next scene, and then they're creating he's like, oh, I need Mithril because I need to make the rings of power for you guys. If it worked for the elves, it should work for everyone. It's like, this random dude making rings for you when Galadriel said no.
Yeah, it makes remember before Halbrand reveals himself to be Anatar. He was having that conversation. This is the pinnacle of my career. I didn't know you can combine metals until you told me to.
For freaking like a person who's like known to be like makes jewelry and makes like metals and shit like that for like makes weapons for a living. Oh yeah, who would have dunked that you can combine 2 different metals? Like who knew that could happen? Yeah, it's just it's really bad so far. It does look really nice. Like the fact that you're spending $1 billion on trash with shitty writing, and I do want to check where it is at right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Have you checked the score recently?
Nah, not yet.
Okay. So I'm not sure if they're like changing anything or they're trying to like stop it from getting good review. But as of right now, is more on the positive side for season 2.
I think I've read somewhere that they were deleting. They might be deleting some of them. I mean, it's not surprising given what they tried to do in season 1. Recall they tried to do some shady shit too in Rotten Tomatoes in season 1.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised they're gonna do something similar for season 2.
Yeah, man. It's not good. It was like I said, I fell asleep. It was so boring in the first couple episodes, and I saw a picture online of the Rings of Power, and I believe the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I think, had like $96 million budget, right? And it showed an armor that Boromir wore in the movie, and then you see what's it called again? The Isildur's dad. It's like his armors look so like you bought that from like Spirit Halloween or like Party City, man.
Yeah,
the armor doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, it's like they could have at least tried to change the armor just to respond to the backlash they got in season 1. The man boob armor. They're still wearing that same shit in season 2.
Yeah, they are. And I believe they also finally officially gave the females like beards. Like they have like it's like a weird beard. I think Disa has like a mini beard. Let me see if I can find an image of it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. It's because I believe people were complaining about it in the first season, right? Like if you look over here, this is one of the images from the show, and I believe we haven't gone to this part yet. Right over here, you see this little like weird stubby beard over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, like the first time I saw that, I thought like someone edited that. Kind of like what Perry Chan did with Disa's weapon with mace. He put it into a giant breadstick, a giant sandwich. I thought it was him doing that.
Oh, and the thing is that they did show the black elf, right? The black elf did show up like in the end of episode 2.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, he saved Isildur.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah, it's yeah. Go ahead.
We forgot to mention. Yeah, we even forgot about that too. We're kind of all over the place because like we're remembering it over time. But yeah, I don't like if I thought they were gonna recast Bronwyn, given like because the
she died off screen.
Yeah, because because the actress couldn't make it to season 2 anymore. Either she didn't want to anymore.
Wait. We just got a raid right now. Yo, Wicked, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo, thank you, Wicked. Yo, thank you. Hail, everyone. Thank you for the raid. Saucy raid. Yeah, thank you. Holy crap. Thank you so much. Yeah, but and yo, Psychotic Mongoose, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy crap, thank you. Yeah, wait, so what's this right here? Phil Simps for Diza? All right, let's say if under that magnificent beard that she has like fantastic boobs, I might consider it. I might consider it. But yo, thank you so much, Wicked, for the raid. Thank you. Holy crap, thank you so much. All right, but yeah, it's sorry, Grae, what were you saying about I think it was
I was Theo. It's like
yeah.
He's a lot. I didn't like him in season 1. Now he's a lot more unlikable in season 2. Given like because like, I thought like they were gonna because like the actress for Bronwyn in season 1, either she couldn't make it back or she didn't want to anymore. But the point is, she was like she's fighting for women's rights in Iran right now. So good on her. So yeah. So it's like I thought they were gonna recast her. It's like, oh, this is the perfect bloody opportunity to recast her some black lady or something like that. But they just killed her off. But then again,
they killed her off screen.
Yeah,
right?
He's a super minor character in the greater scheme of things, so I get it. But yeah, I would have thought they would have recasted her with a POC, with a female POC. But then they just killed her off, and then they made Theon more of a bitch boy.
Yeah, man. But Grae, are there, according to you, are there any hot chicks in this show? I would say
Bronwyn actually. For
Bronwyn
me,
was the only one,
yeah.
right?
What Morphin Clark is okay in my opinion, but she really needs to, she really needs to unlearn that resting bitch face. Otherwise, Morphin Clark's not bad. That's how I feel.
All right, what do you think about that girl that brought in the Palantir?
Average.
What's her name? Is it because she has bad teeth? Is it because she has bad teeth? You gotta admit it, man. If Grae has a weird thing for like good teeth, right? If you have bad teeth, it's automatically doesn't matter how big your boobs are.
Okay, that teeth thing is probably from like every day I go to work. We go through this long stretch of road called EDSA. There's this advertisement that's always so distracting for me because they really show off her teeth. I should take a picture of it.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's like it's an advertisement for our food delivery app. They show her teeth so prominently. I mean, her face is okay, but it's like the teeth is so distracting. That's why I keep mentioning teeth ever since you asked me that.
Anyway, all right, I'm looking. Yeah. So her name is Emma Horvath, and I think she looks pretty cute, actually. All right, I'll bring up a photo of her. I think modern photo. All right, this is her. Hey, I would say she definitely have some juicy hangers. All right, she definitely does have some hangers over there. I probably need to do more research.
Yeah, because like she's like Galadriel Jr. in this show. Maybe that's why she's kind of looks unlikable. She's also doing that RBF expression, and like she's also like girl bossing everyone. Like she has the Palantir and shit. Like yeah, that's why maybe maybe she's in other shows. She's fine. And yeah.
I see them, but the thing is that we're basically done with this. I hate this show. I hate this show.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to drag it out too long. I think we got all the points already anyway.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything? Let me scrub. Nah.
I think we got most of everything.
Yeah, the well, the tornado of Gandalf. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to episode 4?
I'm looking for our channel. Not because I want to watch it, dude.
All right, cool. With that out of the way, I will not keep our guest waiting. He's hanging out in the green room.
He's hanging out for a while. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. All right, we're done talking about Rings of Power. It's over.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah, it sucks. Don't watch it. Just have us watch it and tell you what happens.
All right. And here we are. Here's our guest. Joining us tonight is MarcTheCyborg.
Hello.
Oh my God! My boobies!
Well, honey, you heard them bring
I can't hear anything.
Oh, check the volume on the actual headphones. Okay.
I can't hear anything.
How about
I
now?
feel like echo right now.
Hello? Testing.
Hello?
Can you hear?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Grae.
Hi.
Are you getting anything?
What's up?
Can you hear now?
I can hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, what's going on?
What's
happening?
up, my Asian bros?
Yo, we got what's it called again? Like a cameo from X-Ray Girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I heard that you loved Rings of Power.
Oh. No, I fell asleep. Like I was falling asleep. It was really bad. It was like first 20 minutes. X-Ray Girl, you watched the entire thing, huh?
Oh God, I watched season 1, and Mark, when we got to the part where Galadriel went upside down on the horse, was like, "I'm out."
Yeah, I wasn't really even watching it with you. You just inflicted it upon me because I woke up in the room where you were watching it.
And then, season 2 was really good stuff to fall asleep to.
Hi, puppy.
It's great.
Yeah, it was definitely really awful. But thank you guys for joining. I didn't know X-Ray Girl was going to be joining.
I was coming to say hi to Mark, and I was like, change the camera.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking. I thought she was saying turn the camera off because that's usually what she's saying when she walks up here, and I was like, Oh, here, I guess I can demonstrate. I was like, honey, I don't know what I can do other than what's happening now, because all they'd be able to see is Doom.
I don't care about Doom. Change the camera back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching. I think Mark was playing Doom. I was like, oh, he's playing Doom. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm
Good
on
old
Doom
school.
2 Master
I definitely
Levels.
played this, but I wasn't good back in the day.
I installed it on your laptop. You can play it at 240 FPS there if you want.
Which
Yeah.
The laptop
Yeah.
that you just got.
Oh,
How many laptops did you recently buy that I would have had to install stuff on for?
I have 3 laptops, okay?
Do you? What's the third?
It's a really old one.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How it's hot and it's it's really hot right now.
It's hot here too. It rains at the same time. We're kind of like a typhoon season here.
Good boy.
It gets
Ooh,
really
are
hot.
you in the
then it rains
valley
really-
or in the hills?
Not really. It's just we're in the typhoon belt in the Philippines, so
Okay,
it's the
as long
season
as you
where
don't get flooded.
it's more of the provincial problem, but we also get floods from time to time. But we manage.
Nice. Yeah. I loved your tweet, Phil, about your situational disability.
What's your situational disability?
Children, honey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a son. Yeah.
Wow!
Hey, don't hit me. I'm crippled.
Domestic abuse on stream!
Well, yeah, it was her abusing me. You guys all saw it, right?
Yeah.
likes
I'm
it.
fine with that.
I also did get a new dog as well. So like,
Yay.
I ended up
Hear
getting
that,
him
Jojo?
yesterday.
Ah, honey, you're elbowing me.
I just wanted to make JoJo growl.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very awkward position for me to be in.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I made your Rings of Power stream review shortened. I don't wanna give you
No.
back
It's
to Mark.
we were
Fine.
done. We were done with it already. It was just like
It's so
wasn't
long.
much.
It's so, but tells so little. I was telling Phil earlier. Off stream.
Yes, I agree with that. And I wish the wigs were better
yes,
on Anatar.
yeah. He had a huge forehead.
One wig to rule
Charlie
them all.
Vickers is not a bad looking human, but he looks horrible as Anatar.
Yeah.
So he's a bad-looking elf.
They made his hairline worse.
Get it though, because he said he's not a
Yeah.
bad-looking human.
Oh my god. He's trying to one up an elf right now because he knows I like Legolas.
You just can't handle how witty I am.
I love Legolas. Orlando Bloom is Legolas.
She likes femboys.
Shut up. He's really
He-
cool with his bow. Hey,
Yeah,
he
he
can
is.
kill orcs sliding off the trunk of an elephant. Can you do that?
LA font.
Elephant.
And I don't know. I've never tried. Probably.
Okay. Next
Yeah,
time.
but yeah. Let's see. So Mark, well, you know, we had X-Ray Girl on. I think, what was it, last year already?
It was a year ago almost.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Holy
You need to
I was-
invite me back. Invite me back.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
we
was
will.
headed.
Definitely will.
I was headed home, so I wasn't able to join during that time from the army.
I remember
I remember.
that.
I remember. Yeah.
Because I never actually talked with you, Grae. Like, we talked in person that first time. And then, yeah.
Me and Phil
We
bowed.
It was instinctual. I love it. I love it. So, yeah. DM me. Let me know. I would love to come back on.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely have you back. But MarcTheCyborg. So
Hello.
for people who don't know who you are, you know, tell us who you are and what do you do?
I don't know. I guess I'm a YouTuber of sorts who make videos about video games and talk about media and, you know, TV shows, movies, all the things. I like anime. I'm one of the people in the sphere who sometimes talks about the animes, and I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, there's other stuff, but I guess I probably need more specific questions to target in on things because, you know, been through a lot in my life. Could probably tell you a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Now, people are always saying if I have any tech issues, I can basically flag you down. You should have an answer for me.
See, that I think is probably a misplaced assumption that's been happening to me since I was a little kid, actually, where my mom used to not really understand the difference between computers and video games. So if she had computer problems, or one of her friends did, she'd be like, oh, well, ask my son about it. He knows all sorts of stuff about computers. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, Mom, funny enough, at the time I would have been like 10 and I played Doom on the computer. And I'm like, she's like, well, you can install all those like crazy games and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's not that hard. But that doesn't mean I'm good at like tech support stuff. Like that's a pretty specific skill set.
And she gets upset if you don't know the answer right away, or you have to look it up, or you don't know. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
Well, what 100%. I always love is when they get upset at you when you tell them that they need to learn things. Like, be like, hey, look, watch me when I'm doing this. This right here is the start menu. When you hit that, all your programs come up right here, and then you can click on them. She's like, oh, God, this is all technical mumbo jumbo. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. My dad is like, hey, Phillip, what does it say over here? I was like, can you do it? Like, I'll teach you how to do it. No. You do it for me. Easy. You do it easy. You know how to do computer. You know how to do, how to do everything. Just do it for me. I was like, dude, you got to learn. What happens, like right now, like I live like 50 minutes from my dad. Like, the funny thing is that he bothers my sister now. They live like 5 minutes away, so he bothers her.
You got the proximity bonus, where it's like he's not going to call me as much anymore because I'm further away in case he needs me to do something on purpose.
Yeah, so like my sister is like, he's like, why did you have to move in with your wife? Now Dad's bothering me all the time. I was like, good luck. So whenever like he needs something, he bothers her, which is awesome. Now, so I do want to ask, like, how did you like get started with like YouTube and stuff like that? Like, how did you like get, you know a lot of people like people from FMT, Geeks and Gamers. Like, I want to see like how did you like, start your career on YouTube?
Well, yeah, nothing really special as far as that goes. It's just I was playing on PC in like 2017, 2018 probably, and noticed that the GeForce Experience app made it so that I can like hit Alt F10 and then save my last 20 minutes of footage, and it'll be like perfect footage that's like, but if I guess at the time, probably 2017, I'd likely be playing in like 1440p or 1080 mostly, but it would be like 1080p 60 FPS footage that looked really good. And I knew how to video edit because I'd gone to film school and stuff like that, and that was kind of a whole life ago because I eventually kind of left movie making and went into just being a full-time army medic for like 12 years now. But around 2018, 2019, I just started capturing a whole bunch of footage, and I actually played Yakuza 0, and a buddy of mine was like, hey, what are you playing lately? And I was like, oh, I just finished this game, Yakuza 0. It was so good. Like, it was honestly one of the better games I've ever played. He's like, it's on sale on Steam. Should I pick it up? And I was just like, no. And then he said, why? I was like, I feel like you'd hate it. And then he's like, what do you mean by that? You just said it's like one of the better games you've ever played. I was like, yeah, I just don't think you'd like it. You know what? Here, I have a bunch of footage of it. I'll make you a little video review, and that'll be something I can do in my spare time as like a little project. And so I did that. He liked it, and I uploaded it to my channel that was like my old channel. That's just Mark B now. So like, I guess there we go. Spoiler alert on my last initial. It's B, but so actually those videos might not be up there yet. But I basically just started continuing to do so. I think Plague Tale Innocence came out not too long after that to give a bit of a time frame, and I thought it might be an interesting idea to play a game that I know I can get through in a weekend because it's like a story-based game that's supposed to not be all that long, and then see if I could make a review of that. The next one I did was Project Warlock, which was, funny enough, you just saw me playing Doom, another kind of like boomer shooter type game. It's kind of a Doom-like with some like light RPG elements. That's actually quite good. There's a sequel too that's also very good. And then eventually I made one on Curse of the Moon, Bloodstained, which is like not Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, the one that's like a full-blown Metroidvania, but the sort of NES like Castlevania 3 style, like Dracula's Curse style game. And then I saw Jeremy on Geeks and Gamers was in some argument with, I don't know if it was a viewer or someone who didn't like the channel, but they were saying something about like, hey, like you don't have any video game videos on your channel. Why is your channel called Geeks and Gamers? And I was like, well, if you need a video guy, I guess like check this out. And I shared my Bloodstained review. And then Jeremy DM'd me like 5 minutes later and was like, hey, like, would you want to make videos for Geeks and Gamers? And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. Like, I might as well. I've just been doing this as a hobby. Like, it might be kind of nice to make some money on it. And yeah, and then just started making videos for Geeks and Gamers. I was doing weekly videos for them for a while, which was actually killing me because basically what I'd be doing is
Tough.
in a given month, I'd play 3 games, but during the week I'd be playing one, I would be either writing or editing another one, and then it would be like a constant turnover. And there was nights that I'd be up until like 4 in the morning, and then I'd have to be up to go to work at like 5:30 and be like, okay, God, I need to do this. And yeah, and then I just kind of started to branch out and do things on my own and started doing more podcasting and stuff. I think one of the reasons I kind of got into doing that is because of like Last Jedi coming out and the big sort of boom of like newer YouTubers that had come out. So funny enough, one of my favorite YouTubers at the time was Mauler, and I listened to EFAP like from before it was even called EFAP, because they were doing kind of a similar show on Wolf's channel, and then they eventually did EFAP episode 1, and then it became a thing. And for the longest time, I would be like, man, it would be so cool if one day I could get on EFAP. And now I think I've been on like 30 episodes, something like that. You can track it. There's the efap.me website, and there you can track like all the guests, and like I just keep on rising the ranks of like most appearances. I was like, oh man, I was like, I think I'm being asked now. I was like,
so like a membership jacket for like how many times you've been on?
Almost, yeah, but it's just a fan run site. It's very comprehensive though, so it's like it's one of those things that people say the EFAP crowd is all the like hyper autistic people that like I guess one of them just decided I'm going to make a website because I really like this podcast. And yeah, now I do a weekly Sunday show with Metal Commander, who's one of Mauler's best like real life friends. And yeah, it's a little bit wild when I go back and look at it, because I was like, man, like when I started making videos, I just kind of like was like, yeah, these guys seem like they have similar kind of perspectives on me. It would be neat if I could make videos the way they do, and then maybe one day get onto these shows and talk to them. And now it's like something that I do kind of all the time, and it's nice, you know. It's it feels like I actually kind of accomplished something, even if I'm not like the biggest YouTuber in the world right now. It's not like I have 1 million subs or anything like that, but I sort of like being at the level I'm at, I suppose. I mean, not that I wouldn't like to grow, don't get me wrong, but you know, I think I can already be pretty proud of all the stuff I've done on YouTube, and that feels pretty nice.
That's awesome to hear, man. Yeah, it's amazing to hear. Like, of course, like your link tree is pinned in the comments right over there and in the description. So, yes, it's for us. It's like the fact that we even can like bring on guests such as yourself, X-Ray Girl, you know, Jay, you know, and you know, even like Gary. Like we feel so humbled by like the fact that like people are willing to come on, and it's just getting in this space is you never know who you might run into or bump into, and and I feel like everyone is very cool with one another, at least from what I've seen, and everyone's very supportive, right? It's not you're not being an asshole or a dick or anything like that. I think everyone's very supportive of what everyone's doing, and it's you know, of course, it's awesome getting to meet you in person in the Vegas meetup a couple years ago. But
like we've met a few times now, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so.
You were even at the Orlando one that I was at. I was only in Orlando once, but I'm pretty sure that at least one of you were there.
I didn't go to the Orlando one. Like
maybe
the Mega Con
has it just been Vegas ones? Because I've gone to Vegas pretty much every year. I might start slowing down on the ones I go to, just so. But realistically, so we can save some money, because we noticed, especially last year with like the England trip and everything, that we spent a lot of money on travel for this stuff, and probably more than my channel made on YouTube for the whole year. So it's like, well, okay, so I think I can probably just hang in. So obviously funny that I was playing Doom just as we were doing this. The big thing I want to be able to get to this coming year is QuakeCon, because I've been wanting to go to QuakeCon forever. I was planning to actually go this year, but my best friend made me the best man at his wedding that exact weekend. I was like, okay, fine.
Obligations. Situation. See right over here. So Ogami says that we all look alike, so it's okay. It's okay.
Well, it's I think more so than all Asian people looking alike. What I have pretty good Asian facial recognition. I do have like a whole Asian side of my family now, because I've been married to X-Ray Girl for a number of years, and you know, I mean, Rocky's Mexican actually. It's JoJo's the Korean puppy. JoJo. Hey, JoJo.
You did not like that.
No, she thinks I'm gonna move her because like basically she was like curled up in a little ball doing her little sleepy thing. So if I jostle her at all, she starts growling. But I know it's not that bad. It's just JoJo.
All right.
But, no, she came from a Korean family. She was a little Korean poodle.
Okay, cool. And all right, I do want to talk. I do want to jump on to our first article right over here. This comes to us from That Park Place. And Mark, are you caught up with the Amandla Stenberg?
Yes, thing? Yes. I've done my fair amount of Acolyte discussions. So it was actually. Do you guys know Jedi Brooks? Have you ever seen him on anything? He's another YouTuber. He actually made a really good video on, funny enough, on Soul. The speaking of Koreans, the Korean character from Acolyte. But he and I would watch this every week as it was coming out, just on Discord with each other. And sometimes he would even watch the video in advance because he was working on a video for it. And then he would still want to watch it with me just because our reactions to things were like sort of priceless. And yeah, so this show's interesting because it's fun in the sense that it's so bad it's amazing to pick apart, but it's also kind of the worst Star Wars product like maybe ever.
Yeah. For this over here. Now, did you watch her? I'm gonna scroll all the way down to
the diss track, or
so she had her
to the diss track.
We're so bored, don't fuck it for Discord. Did you watch her cancellation follow-up video?
I watched little bits and pieces of it, but I mean, I don't know. The second you get a video where someone's like, yeah, no, obviously this was going to be an uphill battle because of the bigotry that we were facing, and I'm just like, no one cares. It's just a bad show. But I guess.
What about you, Grae? What about did you watch it?
I didn't bother anymore. But if we're gonna watch it, that's fine. But it's like given her behavior in her the way she made that cringe dance video. I was expecting she was gonna make something like this because they all behave the same way. They all have the same reactions.
It's a personality type.
Yeah,
it's the theater kid. I'm telling you.
Taking feedback and becoming a better person, they just think, no, it's your fault. Everyone's a bigot. Everyone's a sexist. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
So I don't want to go through the entire video. She basically goes on, talks about how she found out it's been canceled. How it's like she put her her heart and soul into this, which is funny, is because her character has no soul. And the fact that you have a Korean guy named Soul in there is pretty funny. And she basically thanks everyone how like Leslie Headland was such an amazing figure that helped her, that made Star Wars really, really cool for her. And then she blames the alt-right, call them bigots, everyone who basically hated the show, or bigots, far-right, alt-right people. And then at the end, she basically continues saying how happy she was she got this opportunity. For me, if she left out the entire thing about how bigots, ruined the show, how far right, outright, alt-right people ruined the show. I think
specifically alt-right because it's 2017 apparently.
So like if she left all of that out, I think this would have been a fine like follow-up to it sucks that's canceled, what you should have said. I'm glad I got the opportunity to work on the show. It was a dream come true working on the show. Thank you so much for everyone who was involved and stuff like that, yada yada yada. But the thing is that she didn't, right? She had to put in far right, alt-right people, bigots that ruined everything, and that's the reason why it was, and the thing is, it's that this show is extremely, extremely bad. And like I said, like I consider her a worse actor than Kristen Stewart. So
I would say so. I've seen Kristen Stewart in a few things where I thought she was all right. Amandla, I've only ever seen her in The Acolyte, so I guess I've seen her in two things she's not great in because she's two roles. But
yeah,
I mean, are they?
Yeah, man. It's I don't want to force you guys to watch this because it is really bad. But I believe let's go ahead and read some of her quotes right over here. Let's go here right over here. So during her thing, she actually starts like. Right over here. She paraphrased Vice President Kamala Harris. Quote, but maybe the last thing I want to say on this subject is that we all exist in the context in all of which we live.
Okay.
I don't know what that quote means.
I mean, I guess things occur within their time in history, and I guess the implication is that this is a time in history where evil racists are tearing Star Wars apart. So of course the one with the non-binary woman of color, which I mean, when you say non-binary, like when they say that about her, I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, I mean, you added woman at the end. Why even bother in that case? Isn't a non-binary person, but I don't know. I can't keep up. But I guess just ultimately none of that matters, because if you like, I think House of the Dragon's probably a pretty good bet, because as much as House of the Dragon season 2 was not nearly as good as the first season and has some issues, I don't think anyone really cared that Emma Darcy identifies as a they them, because she was pretty good on the show, you know.
Yes.
Like, it's like, and even then it's like you even if we hated the show, it wouldn't be because of that, right? It's like, it'd just be because the show is or is not good, and that's all most people care about at the end of the day. In particular, the mainstream audience, like the normies who aren't watching podcasts or going on YouTube and watching Gary or Critical Drinkers videos and stuff, they will just watch an episode or two, and if it does not look interesting to them, they bounce and they never come back. Where I think that they think that our, I guess you could argue, we'll say for the sake of them giving a bit of a bone, our vocal minority of people who hate this type of media and want to talk out about it a lot, because as much as you could argue that maybe we hold a more majority opinion than people think we do, it's still we, like the outspoken ones, are kind of the minority. Just like on the other side, the outspoken ones who really want a show that's full of representation and diversity and they don't care how it's written, probably are the other vocal minority. And I don't think either side really has the ability to make a show succeed or fail. But if the show's not that good, it will kind of do what it's going to do. And sometimes you'll have a show like Firefly where, you know, it gets canceled after one season and people find it later and it becomes a cult classic. But there's also factors that I think factors that would probably have made Firefly okay if it was a more modern show, because if it was on streaming, I think it would have done totally fine. The problem with Firefly was they had it on Friday nights on Fox at like 10 p.m. and they aired the episodes out of order, so no one could really tell what was going on, and like 3 people watched it and then it got canceled, and then lo and behold, it becomes a huge hit once the DVD comes out with all the episodes in order and people can go through it, but it had already been long canceled by that point. But hey, you know what? Firefly got enough of a following at that point that we got Serenity. So, like, hey, Acolyte fans, if you're out there and you think this show's that great, maybe keep watching the show. Buy the Blu-ray that comes out. See if actually put your money where your mouth is, and you might find you'll get more of that content. But I feel like most of the people who defend the Acolyte are defending it for the reasons they think we hate it, which is the aesthetics, the superficial stuff, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, let's see. And then you have Star Wars theories. Amandla Stenberg's response to the Acolyte being canceled. Do you agree with her? She says, paraphrasing, the show suffer from tons of vitriol, bigotry, racism, and hate from the alt-right, which essentially is why it got canceled. And absolutely, it's absolutely funny that people think that. And of course, just like clockwork, everyone is basically saying Star Wars theory is a terrible person. It's because he made this video responding to it, right? Or if this is straight up racist. Amandla calmly expressed her emotions and experience, and she did so eloquently as possible. He's calling it a meltdown to play into the angry black woman stereotype. Just when I thought this man could sink no lower. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who are very, very mad at him. And there's another one that I believe Grae sent me earlier that says, oh, I used to like him and now he's awful. He's a bigot. And yeah. And the thing is, of course, there are people who really, really love the show so much. They're trying to renew the Acolyte. Last time we checked, it was at 34,000. Now it is at 63,000 out of 75 for renew the Acolyte. So yeah, this is not good. This is not good. And there's a lot of people who signed it. And to be honest, like, and to be fair, like the show can only be so good as you know, as good as its writing is, right? Souls was written terribly, and same thing was Manny Jacinto's character. And I don't feel sad that the show got canceled. It sucks for the people who actually did their best, but ultimately, if she didn't make this video, sort of like Iman Vellani, she didn't blame the fans for Miss Marvel not doing well.
Most people have a pretty high opinion of Iman Vellani because she's humble and like was like, yeah, it's the same. And like, no one really liked the movie, but you know, I had fun making it. It's cool. Like everyone likes it when you do that. I think the other one was granted it's pretty easy to like to like Sydney Sweeney, but Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson with Madam Web, they didn't pull cover story. Like they didn't start sweeping for it. They were just like, yeah, no one saw that movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we did.
Yeah. Well, but I think that's the thing. Like people appreciate that. Like they appreciate not being told, no, you didn't like it because there's something wrong with the way you think. Like it's like, well, maybe you could say, hey, if it's a really complicated mystery that I didn't quite understand, then yeah, maybe I just didn't watch it properly, didn't pay attention to enough things. But I feel like you're not making that argument though, right? For the Acolyte, you're not saying, hey, you guys just didn't properly get it. Here's what actually happened. It just went over your head. It's just, no, you didn't like it because you're racist. And like, not just us, because I mean, like people like even me, I tend to stay pretty apolitical and mostly just stick to video games, but people have called me racist for not liking TV shows. And when it comes right down to it, it's just like, well, like, who are you trying to convince here? Because if you say it to me, even I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous. We can just move on. But most normal people, if you call them a racist because they said, hey, I didn't like that episode of Law and Order, they're gonna think you're a crazy person. Like that, like they're just gonna be like, okay, yeah, I guess so. I'm not talking to you about Star Wars anymore, and then that's it. So. I don't know. I really don't find the calling people names because they didn't like what you like to be an effective strategy in which to defend media.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's go and read some of these super chats we got in earlier. Yo, Justin Martins with the $10 super chat. Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate it. What's up with the spoiler alert scroller? Does anybody care? No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone actually
just in
cares
case
about-
Is this
for
for
that
Rings of Power or Acolyte?
Yeah.
Rings of Power.
Rings of
like
Power.
Acolyte's been out for a while now. Like, I don't
Yeah, it's for Rings of Power.
for the two people who might not want spoilers. So we
yeah,
put
Meta
that up.
Commander just made a video on Rings of Power. He's covering it so that we don't have to on the Forge, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it's definitely boring. Yo, Carlos Lima for the 5. Thank you, man. What's up, my Asian brothers from another mother? Love you guys. Yo, thank you, Carlos.
Love you too.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And let's see. Let's go and read some what people are saying in the chat. Let's see. Yo, what's going on? Rough night. What's going on, Chaz? Hope you're doing
Hey,
well,
how's it
man.
going, Chaz?
See, Amandla has lived a life of complete entitlement and privilege. She couldn't be authentic if her life depended on it.
Famous Danish actress Amandla Stenberg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Screw the
man.
white people, but her dad is white.
That's
Yeah,
Danish too. That's Nordic. It's like hyper white.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
It's not like I mean, I'm Italian, which I mean, but people have made arguments that I'm not white because of that. So like, geez, she's Danish. Like that's really white.
yeah.
They don't see the sun.
Yeah, yo, just JK. He said, "No way it gets uncanceled." No, that thing is done. I hope that Leslie Headland gets let go from Lucasfilm as well.
Rumor says she already did, right? We talked about it last week, and it kind of makes sense considering it's been pretty quiet with Lucasfilm. So I'm inclined to believe it. So I think she's already out.
How'd you feel, Mark? Do you think Leslie's still going to be there?
I honestly can't believe she had a job writing things to begin with. So,
Mm-hmm.
but like I mean, with Lucasfilm especially, it's so hard to tell. Right? Like, I mean, at the same time, there must be some kind of guiding force because people often will reference the Rian Johnson trilogy that no information ever comes out of, but it also never gets formally canceled. It's like, well, would it be that crazy if they said, hey, we're giving Rian Johnson another movie, like coming from this era of Lucasfilm? I don't know. It would seem like a bad idea to me, but I don't think it would be crazy of them to do it. So if they're like, you know what? The bigots we can't let them win. We've got to make Acolyte season 2 just to stick at them. And I mean, I guess say goodbye to your next $180 million because that's all they're going to be doing with that. I think honestly that's probably what's going to be making things better. It's not even so much the reception as it is the budgets, because if you are dropping close to $200 million on something that has as much of a return as the Acolyte, you only have so much fuck you money, you know? Like you can only keep doing that for so long before it's like, hey, we're going to collapse our entire multi-million-dollar corporation if we keep on trying to stick it to the chuds, you know? Like maybe we need some of their money. Like I always like it's the thing I often bring up too. It's the old like Michael Jordan quote from like when people are saying like, hey, what do you think about like Reagan voters buying your sneakers? He's like, Republicans buy sneakers too. Like,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Yeah, it's like, hey, maybe it is just the kind of thing that you should make good stuff and then make some money and then you can keep on making things. And if you have little bits of your message or the morals that you want to get across through your writing and through your media, slip a few in here and there and see how people react to them. But I think it's when they're like, no, we're going to do all message all the time and just slam it down their throats. And they're going to be so scared of being called racist that they're going to like it. It's like, no, that's not going to work. Like, people don't work that way.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Star Wars Theory was actually excited for it when it was announced. So sad. Oh, man.
Yeah.
No,
I recall like whenever we were calling out Star Wars stuff, like back in the Ahsoka days, it's not even that far away. It's like I recall always seeing Star Wars Theory always so positive about it. It's like, man, good for this guy. He really likes the Star Wars stuff, trying to see the positives in everything. Then we see it's like I think Acolyte was the point where it was just too much and even he couldn't handle it anymore. And now just because he didn't like the Acolyte, like so many people are turning on him. It's like it's pretty off-putting and just shows how some people really are.
Theory's often said too that he's like, look, like I'd be making more money if Star Wars were in a good place and I was making positive videos all the time. Like I've heard him say that on quite a few shows, and honestly, I believe it because a lot of these Star Wars shill channels are sort of still around. So as bad as the franchise seems to get, there still seem to be people who are like, yeah, this is going to be the one that's going to turn it around, though. I guess like let's still keep watching it every week and discussing it and talking about it, and maybe if it's bad, it'll set up some things that'll end up paying off later. But yeah, they really get mad at him when he actually just says, no, this one's bad, and I'm not gonna try to see the bright side in it because we shouldn't allow this quality to be passing for, you know, like A-list $200 million media.
Yeah. Let's see. Sydney Sweeney didn't say they hate beautiful white women, and that's why you didn't watch Madam Web. Yep.
Correct.
Well, and yeah, the thing is that like, yeah, most what she and like the main character, Dakota Johnson, like they can't really use their race and bring into it's just bad writing. And even Sydney made fun of it on SNL. So like it's like
which again, like good idea. Poke fun at yourself. People enjoy that.
Yes. They definitely do. You see, Rough Knight says this is just another example of rich father trying to buy success for his girl. Taylor Swift lived next door to the Kennedy family before she got famous. Really?
Highly possible, yeah. But I think that what I was saying earlier about like the personality type thing. I went to art school for high school and I went to university for film. So I've spent a lot of time in Toronto, which is basically like Canadian San Francisco, around really artsy people. I understand some of the personality types quite well, and that diss track video she made, that is something that only happens when a theater kid has an idea of a way that they're going to stand up against bullying or something like that, and there's no one around to say, no, don't do that and post it on the internet. That's a really bad idea. Like, we might think that you're super talented and that you doing that dance and writing your rap is super cool, but we're a bunch of theater kids that are just in like, I don't know, like a high school production together or something like that. The problem is these people aren't in a little high school production being kooky theater kids. They're in charge of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of where it's like, well, maybe you guys got to start hiring people that really care and aren't just like creative enough to be wacky, you know?
Yeah. See, Ron was right, says, although I would like to see a diss track with lots of twerking from Sydney Sweeney. Absolutely. I would love to see it too.
I don't think she needs to do a diss track for that or twerk for that matter. Like, I mean, she just is in things and people are like, nice.
Yeah, it's just like whatever she's in, we'll watch it. I think she has like the fact that if there's a rated R movie that she's in, most likely people are going to go watch it and to see the ratings. Like, are sex? Yes. Where's nudity? Okay, Sydney Sweeney nudity. All right, we're going to go watch.
I mean, like
movie.
realistically, if you want to see Sydney Sweeney naked, like just watch Euphoria. She's naked on that show a lot, and like, I mean, it's honestly not a terrible show. Definitely not the type of thing that I think will ring the bells of a lot of people in our sphere of the internet's general like taste, but it's a show about high school drug addicts effectively, and basically Sydney Sweeney is one of the more promiscuous girls of the group.
the good thing is that I knew about Sydney Sweeney before I knew that she was in Euphoria. I'm like, what is that? It's like I don't need to watch that. I know Zendaya is also in that, right?
Yeah, she's good in that. Honestly, I think that's probably the best thing I've seen Zendaya in as far as her performance goes.
Okay, it's because like I do not like Zendaya, and like the only thing to be honest, the only thing I've only seen her in is Spider-Man. So like I haven't seen.
You haven't seen the Dune movies?
I have not.
Dune's good. She's not the reason they're good, but they're really good movies. I mean, she's fine in them. I don't think she's that bad, but no, she actually gives some pretty good performances in Euphoria. I don't think it's coming back though, because actually, who I thought was the best character on the show is this like drug dealer dude, but he's one that also is kind of friends with Zendaya's character and eventually starts like cutting her off and being like, yeah, you're killing yourself with these things. Like, I get that I sell them, but I don't do them. I sell them to make a living. And he was a pretty good character, but the actor died. So yeah, I don't know if that show's ever coming back.
Ah, I see. Let's see. Tony G says the only thing Leslie Headland wrote well was Harvey Weinstein's.
Did he send out apology emails? I thought his whole deal was like, "What? I'm the king of Hollywood. Fuck you."
That's so funny. Man. If that's true, that would be even more funny. But that's awesome. That's so funny, dude. See, honestly, who knows about Lucasfilm? Their finger is so far from the pulse of society, they could touch the moon.
I have to believe there's still some people out there that are making like okay decisions, because at the very least, like Night Dive remastered Dark Forces, and it's a pretty solid remaster. In fact, they also remastered the version of Doom I was just playing using their Kex engine.
Yeah. I think Night Dive was a good, except the head kind of made the political statement like a couple of months ago. But I guess I've always been of the opinion though that like, especially with this kind of stuff, that every so often a person that makes things I like will say something on Twitter I disagree with, and I'm not even like specifically referring to anything with Night Dive. Like, I actually it didn't even track what he said as like something I remember, so I don't think it obviously didn't bother me that much, whatever it was. But I guess the way I look at it, it's like, man, like I don't need to agree with what you're doing if you're making things that are good. And like a remaster of a video game isn't something that who you vote for factors into my purchase of or not, because it's like, well, it's a remaster of a game from 1995, like, and it's like, not too bad.
Yeah, it's sort of like there's only a certain amount of like game developers out there that has the caliber of like, no matter what they do, it's always going to be freaking awesome, right? One is like the FromSoft devs, like Miyazaki. Mostly anything he comes up with is going to be good.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part. Not a fan of Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is the only one, right?
And Hideo Kojima. I've never played Death Stranding, but a lot of people really like.
I like Death Stranding. Death Stranding's a weird one to recommend to people, because I think it's probably another one of the ones that I would have said to my same buddy about Yakuza 0, where it's like, yeah, I think Death Stranding's really good, but you might actually hate it because it's unique in the style of game that it is. But I think what's neat about it is if you get over the idea of like, the primary goal in this thing is delivering packages. And because that's generally the thing that gets people to be like, okay, fuck that game, I don't have any interest. But it's more about player versus environment and not like PvE, like fighting enemies. I mean, like man versus nature kind of thing, where it's more, here's my destination, here's the cargo that I have on me. I can choose how much of it I want to carry that'll do things like affecting my weight, how fast I can climb. The material that you bring with you is also added to your backpack. The equipment that you bring with you. So deploying things like zip lines and ladders will take stuff off your kit, and that makes you lighter as you go. So you can do things like look at the map and then be seeing, okay, I'm going to need to be going up this mountain here, and then I've got a thing that I need to cross, and then kit out your loadout so that you're going to have exactly what you need as you move along. And it's quite neat from like a strategic gameplay standpoint, and the story it's telling is insane. It's unlike anything you've ever seen in any science fiction story before. There's nothing I can compare it to except for itself.
Yeah, it's extremely unique. I watched I don't think it was a game for me, but watching people play it, like I'm like, it looks pretty interesting, right? People are it's like in short, it's basically like you're an Amazon delivery guy trying to
Yeah,
deliver
I think
stuff
that's
most
actually,
efficiently.
as I was saying though, is like I think it's the worst way to look at it because it makes everyone think, okay, whatever, you go to the place, drop off package. It's like,
Yeah.
well, but you got to understand, it's like you're in a post-apocalypse, and your goal is basically bring this item to this objective. And if you're thinking of it like that, then like, are you an Amazon delivery man in almost every game, right? Like, is that happens pretty often, right?
Yeah,
And
every time.
it's just that because the traversal is the primary obstacle as opposed to enemies, people think that, oh, it's just walking around and that's it. But generally, you'll have a route that you can go that just has you going through enemies and fighting them if you want. You just probably won't want to do that because you'll be like, I'm going to lose so many resources if I go through that area guns blazing, even though it might be faster. That all I have to do is climb this mountain, descend that, and then use that zip line that I already hooked up on my previous run, and I'm good. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm going to do that instead. So you're always allowed to kind of approach it more loud and rough, but it's you're rewarded for being more creative, and I think that's one of the things that's really neat about that game.
Yeah. And is the second one out already, or is it coming out soon?
No, I think it's next
coming out.
year. Yeah,
Coming
Okay.
up.
next year release for PS5, and then it'll probably
That
be
one-
like 6
that
months
one
later
definitely-
for PC.
That one definitely does look more action packed than the first one.
I
So-
mean, like again, I would wait to see what the actual gameplay is like because I feel like they might just be showing you. Like, Kojima has a habit of showing some of the most crazy action-packed cinematics in a game that like might not be paced quite that quickly, and so I'm willing to bet it's probably going to be pretty similar to the first game as far as how it actually plays. It just might have a bit more forward momentum to the story as opposed to just world building and discovering this world and how it works, because they laid that groundwork already in the first game. So I think this will be more, okay, let's press the gas pedal on the story and move it forward.
Okay, that makes sense. Is it Heli Leo? It says at the end of Ahsoka, Ford made theory question the state of Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. I recall that's when, like, because like whenever we talk about Star Wars, I was like, oh, it's Star Wars theory is always the main positive guy, the biggest content creator that's always positive about Star Wars. But I think so. I agree with this. Like whenever towards the end of Ahsoka, I think there was the cracks were showing for Star Wars theory.
For me, it was
Then-
Obi-Wan for sure. Obi-Wan was where I was just like, no, they're fucked. They have no chance.
Oh, that's the one where he hides that little girl under his cloak, right?
Yeah. And that's not even one of the worst things that happens in that show as far as like logic and consistency goes.
Oh man,
It's really bad.
we didn't watch that one.
Obi-Wan
That's
show.
the one we didn't watch that one, and we didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, those are the
Yeah,
two
I-
that we didn't watch.
Yeah, I think
We
were busy watching.
wait, you guys can hear me, can't you? Sorry, just my headphones seem to have disconnected. I will be right back. But Book of
All right.
Boba Fett is also bad.
Okay, man. See.
Yeah.
I said the seventh Hokage says, I think it was a waste of for Carrie-Ann Mosses and characters like
There you go.
Daphne.
Oh
King.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And
Yeah.
they really wanted to build Acolyte with the Matrix, the Star Wars, but with Matrix characters in it. Because like Keanu
I heard
Reeves
they
was
wanted-
supposed to be
yeah, that's
Soul.
Soul.
Yeah.
That would have been insane, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
I'm
see.
so happy he didn't take that.
Yeah.
Like Soul, his actor, I think he's at least in a spot where most of North America still only knows him from Squid Game, because I don't think a lot of people watched The Acolyte. So I think if he's in a good movie, he'll be just fine. Keanu Reeves, though, everyone would have noticed. A lot more eyes would have been on this show.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Rough Night says they paid $200+ million for Leslie Headland to have a therapy session and for her to have a 3-way with Amandla and her equally untalented Green Jedi. What?
Oh boy, is that a legend, or is that like if they come out and been like, yeah, we're a throuple?
Oh man. Oh man. That's all. That sounds awful. All right. Let's go and scroll down. Let's see. See, lazy remaster Dark Forces with the Force engine is bueno.
I'm not sure what the Force engine is, but the Kex engine is really good. Like every remaster I played in, it's run beautifully and it's scaled amazingly. So I don't know that I'd call the Dark Forces remaster lazy. Like it seemed really awesome from what I saw, but I also don't have context on the other end of that equation.
You see, Hertz Donut says, Mark, will you play Dustborne, Concord, or Outlaws?
Absolutely not. No interest in any of those. My wife is the kind of person who can monetize shifting the configuration of a wig to make herself look more or less like a feminist. But yeah, I don't think I'm not really. I wouldn't be able to make that work, and it would just bother me. Although I have played a bit of Deadlock, which is like the one that people have been compared to Concord a little, the hero shooter that Valve's made. It's it runs on hard MOBA rules. You ever played Dota or League?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so it's that, but a third-person shooter. And like, what I mean by that is like creeps, towers, everything. It's like it's hard MOBA rules.
That could be really fun. Actually, it's really like
it's
MOBA.
pretty good. It's I was like, I could see this being all right. It's very early and it's in like kind of a playtest state right now. But if you add me on Steam, I can see if I can send you an invite for it. But basically how it works is you can send invites if you're already in the game or invite suggestions, and then Valve will send out an invite. But the hero designs are pretty neat for the most part. I don't think any of them are particularly weird looking or anything like that. And the powers are cool and it's pretty intense. So yeah, I would maybe check out Deadlock if you can.
All right, cool. Seems interesting. He's the seventh Hokage says, it's funny that at one time that guy that directed Logan was going to make a Boba Fett movie. Nebula promises.
Yeah. James Mangold. Yeah, heard that for a little while.
Man.
He also directed Dial of Destiny, though, so maybe we should stop referring to him as the Logan director.
I watched.
It's like maybe Logan was one of the exceptions, not the rule. But 310 to Yuma is really good, though, to be fair.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Hertz Donut says, "Damn, I was hoping to see woke Mark."
Yeah, I feel like that would not be fun.
Oh shit. See, I traded quite a few Dota 2 invites back in the day. Man, good times.
Oh, I guess did Dota do the same thing? Yeah, maybe.
And
Dota is it's Valve's MOBA.
Yeah, I haven't played Dota 2 in a bit, but I haven't played Dota 2 in such a long time just because I get it gets me really, really mad. So like I try not to play it as much.
I was wondering why you went back to playing League in one of your streams. I think it's because that was the time you rage quitted on Nier. I think that was
so that one time on League is because League had this thing called Swarm, and it was a Vampire Survivors mode inside of League.
Oh, okay. That
it's
really cool.
Yeah,
that's
Vampire Survivors, like the game Vampire Survivors.
Yes.
Oh, cool. So it's like an auto attack, just kind of move the character around. Oh, neat.
Yeah, so they had that inside of League for one time, so I wanted to check it out. It was actually pretty good. I actually really liked it. I think Jinx was like I think you use Jinx, Leona, and a couple of other characters. And there's some power-ups you get to choose, and there's different bosses and stuff like that. And it's actually really fun.
Is that mode still ongoing?
No, I believe it ended. I believe it ended last month.
Are you guys both big like League guys?
I used to be a big League guy 10 years ago.
Have you played? Here, I'll bring this up on my screen in a second.
What about you? Did you play League?
This game?
Sorry.
Zoom in.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to sing.
That was in my wish. That was in my wish list.
Here, I can try to bring up.
Is it? Yeah.
There it is.
I considered
Rune
it.
King.
Yeah. So really this is like a League of Legends JRPG essentially, where you play as Misfortune, Yasuo, Ari, and who else is in there? There's a couple others. But it was pretty good. I played this entire thing. It was neat, and I've not really been much of a League player, but this came out around the same time Arcane Season 1 did. And
okay.
Yeah, and so I was like, I'd like to learn a little bit more about this world, and this was a pretty neat one. And so that's kind of what it looks like in combat.
This one, but I don't know if people want me to at this point.
That's actually pretty cool because aren't they? This one there. Aren't they coming out
Ari's best
with weren't they supposed to come out with an MMO or something?
I think Yeah, it was like that's the thing. There's a few that are still ongoing. They have a fighting game that's been in development for a while. It actually used to be a totally different game too. It's
It's like was that like Project L or something?
Project
like that?
L, yeah. I think it was originally called Rising Thunder, though, if you guys ever heard of that game, where it was a fighting game where it was using keyboard only, so you could only play it on a keyboard. But it would, like, the idea was that you were supposed to be controlling this fighting game almost the way you would a character in a MOBA, so I guess that's probably why League came up, where you're hitting, like, your 1 and 2 abilities and stuff there, and it was more about using your abilities all the time as opposed to entering inputs in order to do the abilities like most fighting games. But yeah, who knows though? It might be a while before it comes out. But
Yeah.
I like Raven King though, so if you like League of Legends, I'd recommend checking it out.
Okay, I'll check it out. Let's see. So hey, Sue says, "Hello, my Asian friends and Mark, fellow Asian enjoyer. Yo, what's going on, man? And I love the Grandpa Gohan and Goku profile picture. That's cool.
Nice. I do enjoy my wife."
Let's see. Observer says, "I only play classic Dota before Valve. Yeah, I used to play Dota on Warcraft 3 custom games."
Yeah, that's so funny that a Warcraft 3 mod like started a whole genre which created Blizzard's biggest competition.
Yeah, that's so funny, and that's the reason why Warcraft 3 Reforged, like, any custom game belongs to us.
It's to us now. You don't. It's not yours anymore.
No, you can't do that, man. I feel like it's. I was actually really proud of a Twitter interaction I had this week because I ratioed Denuvo, and yeah, it's one of those things that I think a lot of video game companies really don't understand, that giving gamers control in their purchase is valuable to them. And you might be thinking, oh man, no, we need to have all these like anti-pirate protections and make it so that if anything happens in the game, we own the intellectual property for it. It's like, no, don't. Just relax. Just release your game, sell it, price it reasonably, have your monetization strategy be attractive to players if it's like a free-to-play game or something. Because like a game like League is going to need microtransactions, right? Because you can just play it for free. So they need to make money somehow. But for the most part, I find League tends to be one where people are pretty happy with how they've monetized, at least historically. Yeah. I know that Valorant actually got a lot more shit, being the same company, being the reason I brought it up. But yeah, I think that the people enjoy just having a game that they can mess around with if they want, and sometimes that results in those players getting creative with the mods they make and creating things like a Half-Life mod called Counter-Strike or a Warcraft mod called Defense of the Ancients, and you know, it's like, or I mean, even all of Battle Royale is like not PUBG though. There was another one that I think it was like an Arma mod that was the first Battle Royale, or H1Z1 or something like that. But anyways, it was Player Unknown, like that guy branched off from the mod that he made and got like paid by the company. I forget what their name is now, but the ones who did Callisto Protocol and PUBG. And they just had him make his own version of just that mode that he had in H1Z1 that was just, hey, 100 people, last one standing wins. And now that's been ripped off, and Fortnite's now the biggest game in the world too. So it's like, hey man, like it's important for you to give players that flexibility, you know, to just like, especially for PC games, for them to be like, hey, you know what, this game's fun, but what if we use this rules for it? And what if these things work like this while in that mode? And then before you know it, you've got a new game. Yeah,
I remember I was talking to Grae about how like I started playing Dota like during Warcraft 3 and then Frozen Throne Warcraft 3, and then I was playing early. I was like, this is really good. And then I heard that Ice Frog, basically the guy who started Dota, he was like, oh, I'm gonna jump ship. I'm gonna work with Valve, and then we're gonna create a legit Dota using original characters. Like we're not using Warcraft assets anymore. Yeah, but it took them a very, very long time to do it. And during that time, while they're still developing, Riot came out with like the early beta of League. And then at the same time, you also got like Heroes of New Earth and a bunch of other like, copies and clones of it. And then League, everyone just hopped on over to League. And then they just got better and better and better. And then by the time Valve released Dota 2, people were like, oh, I'm already in my ways in Dota. I'm already in the League, you know, like ecosystem. I'm not gonna hop over anymore. So it's sort of like, in a way, they sort of screwed themselves. But you know, Dota is still pretty damn popular, and people are still playing it. And I believe it's still in the top 10 on Steam charts.
Yeah,
terms of, like,
and I mean,
player.
I think that Valve also was not in a situation where they really needed Dota to take off as much as Riot really needed League to take off.
Yes.
Like Riot
Yeah.
wouldn't exist if League didn't take off the way that it would, whereas Valve would have been like, that's cool, we tried, whatever. Moving on to, I don't know,
Yeah.
Half-Life Alyx, probably the next game they made after Dota. But
Yeah. See, I do want to go back though. The only thing that I play in Dota now is just like arcade. I play like 10v10, and it's crazy, especially if you don't ban Zeus. It's like it's insane. But let's see. All right, let's see. I mean the healthier approach, but their idea is just to make everything the same awful slop. They have full control over and just get redesigned people who settle for that. In terms of video games, yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
well, I mean, I guess you always got to kind of look at it this way, though. Like the market can stagnate if you're doing that too much. If you're just releasing the same ideas over and over again, same old slop kind of concept, and not allowing creativity to happen, maybe even not from your company, but creativity from another company might allow your company to be like, okay, that's a really good idea. We have the resources to do that, but better. So let's do it. And that by resources, I don't necessarily mean budget either. It could just be a team of 3 guys. It's like, oh man, a game that has a system that you've been working on for your little indie game is just taking off like crazy. Why don't we make a game like that? And then that guy might be like, oh yeah, you're right. We could do that. And it would be way better with my tech. And then before you know it, a whole new genre started there too, right? Like I don't know. I think they're too worried about guaranteed returns that they don't realize that they're making all the choices that they need to be making to make the returns as small as possible. Like Outlaws, I think, is a great example of that. That game apparently has the highest marketing budget of any video game ever made.
Oh shit!
So,
Really?
Like, or at least for a launch marketing cycle. I imagine, like, I don't know, a game like Fortnite probably has more marketing dollars over time, but yeah, Outlaws is one of the most expensive marketed games ever. And was it worth it, Ubisoft? Or could you have used that money to make the game better? Jojo, see, she's upset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that segues us onto our next topic right over here. It comes with some games radar. It says right over here, early Star Wars Outlaws PS5 players paid $110 only to have Ubisoft issue a new patch and tell them to start a new save file or face game-breaking bugs.
Yeah, imagine, like I told you earlier, imagine paying premium money just to start early, and then it fucks up your save. Like refund at least the added cost for early access if you just wasted the player's time and all that.
Yeah, I heard there's actually some players who've gotten about like 4 to 5 hours in already, and then like they try to reload their saves and they're getting an error. So yeah, that sucks, man. And I heard that you can actually beat the game in like 15 hours, like under 15 hours. So this person got almost halfway through the game already.
As far as I know, Mr. Manny Place, that was his average playtime, 15 to 16 hours, and he finished the game already. So yeah, it's not really that much. It could be a good thing, especially with like games that they've made in the past, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is way too big, way too bloated. So that could be more of a good thing, provided that those 15 or 16 hours were actually packed with really good content. But I don't feel like that's the case. It's not the worst game in the world, not like Concord or Dustborne, but it's not like a really, really good game that you must get, especially with the price that they are asking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
X-Ray
man.
Girl and Mauler have played it. Neither of them have seemed to be enjoying it. Jojo.
Man. You see, if you continue on a prior save, you unfortunately face issues and a progression blockers. When you purchase through the link, okay, yeah. But the thing is that as a person who worked in the game industry and is still working in the game industry, they obviously did not hire enough QA testers for this. And QA testers, like I said, are basically the backbone of all, like, everything that's gaming. And there's a reason why they hire them in mass and in contract, because if they hire them full time as an actual Ubisoft employee, it's going to cost them too much. So they contracted them for like $10, $15 an hour. And now they're also outsourcing QA now. They're not even doing it in-house anymore. So you're getting a bunch of bugs that might not even get back to you on time for them to fix it. It's sort of sad though in the way, and the fact that people who played, I believe what's it called again? There, I think Moist and a bunch of other people who's bought this game, like they they paid premium money for this, and it's sad.
Yeah, I've heard people actually refer to that new trend of like 3-day early access for like an extra $40 as like the streamer version. It's really like it's kind of true also, because I think every time I've ever gone for one of those deals, it's because I was planning to stream the game and I might have made back what I spent on the extra thing. But I think they realize that like streamers will kind of be forced to play it like 3 days early, otherwise everyone's already watching other streamers play this game. And that's why I've gone back to playing things like Doom.
There's a right here. There's an update from Ubisoft representative provided the following comment. Quote, on August 27th, our teams identified an issue where some PS5 players were playing on a previous version of the game. We quickly deployed an update and informed the affected players to ensure their game was updated to the latest version. And advise that they begin a new save to avoid additional issues and progression blockers. We followed up with affected PS5 players today to inform them that we have provided them an in-game Trailblazers trinket, as well as 100 Ubisoft Connects units to redeem an in-game rewards. For example, to make their return of the Outer Rim a little bit more special. So it's like, oh, here you go. What is this Trailblazer trinket anyways? And how much is this worth in real life money? Ubisoft Connect units.
Fuck off, you. They couldn't just be like, hey, here's like pick a free game, anything that we've released 2022 or earlier on Ubisoft Connect, because that's their storefront, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know what Ubisoft Connect is. So basically what they're saying is you have points that you can get like a skin or like a different, I don't know, nothing like a weapon. It'll always be something just kind of cosmetic. And Jojo, God, she's getting very territorial today. Jojo, Raji's a good boy. Anyways, but yeah, like they should just be like, hey, like pick a game, any game you want. Far Cry 6, just grab it. Like that would have made a lot of people be like, okay, well, it still sucks, and you should release a game, but thanks at least. Like you're giving me some value here. But no, you get an in-game keychain, everybody. Isn't that great?
Yep.
Oh man. See, the thing is, how do we know how long it took for them to make this game? Right.
No idea. Probably pretty short turnaround because EA had the exclusive license for Star Wars for quite some time.
Oh, that's true.
This got announced like 2 years ago. And it's already out. So like, I mean, this is the problem with the AAA industry right now. They're just trying to crank stuff out super fast, and all of it's releasing like shit. But it looks nice, so a lot of people defend it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, people see pretty graphics and they're just like, oh man, this is Star Wars right here.
Like, and I mentioned this multiple times in the past. It does, for me, graphic fidelity doesn't really do anything for me anymore. Like, yeah, your game could look very, very good, but ultimately it's gameplay. I think gameplay is king. Yep. And if your game sucks, you have issues like that. Like, and okay, so the game that I worked on, it took about 3 years for it to officially go into beta, and our game has been out for 6 years. So totally, like total is, and our game is a live game service. We've been going on for about 9 years now. But so let's we give him a benefit of the doubt of 5 years. 5 years. They announced this game 2 years ago, so they've been working. So this will be like about 6 years, and this, like you said, Mark, one of the highest marketing budget for any game out there. And this game,
you got to think though, 5 years ago, Battlefront 2019 was coming out, right? Battlefront 2. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the EA troubles and like the EA license moving away from being exclusive to them for Star Wars and being shopped around to other studios had to happen after that. So like, I really don't think it's possible that this game's been in development for that long.
Maybe I would say given them maybe 4 years, maybe I'll say
that's
4 years.
I even think that's a stretch given how, like, remember Ubisoft used to release Assassin's Creed like every year. So you imagine the churn rate for that. So yeah, that's, even though it's like normal for other game studios, I think that's a long stretch for Ubisoft. Maybe, yeah, I think 2 to 3 years. That's for me.
Yeah. And the thing is, what game came out like a couple years ago? Was it last year? That was
Jedi
like 60
Survivor.
That was $60. That was $60 that everyone in the game industry says, do not compare this game to that game because that's a once in a lifetime thing.
Oh, Baldur's Gate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Baldur's Gate was amazing.
Yeah.
It was there's so many like replayability, and there's different stories, multiple endings. And we have this article right here from That Park Place. A Baldur's Gate 3 developer appears to blast Ubisoft pricing of Star Wars Outlaws while also explaining why he thinks all games should cost more at base level. So, so I think that's it's like, yeah, I'm blasting you guys, but I'm also why games should be more expensive. But,
what's the guy's name? Michael, I can't really see there. Douse, is that
yeah,
it?
Douse, yeah.
Yeah, so
Michael
I mean,
Douse.
that guy, he seems like a kooky kind of fun guy. I think he's pretty soft on the AAA industry. He's also been tweeting about how excited he is for Dragon Age Veilguard. So
Oh no.
I don't know, man. Like I'm just like, okay, cool, man. Just gonna make another RPG. Just it's fine. You don't need to defend
That game's
these
gonna
games.
be mid at best.
Either that, or he's just
Veilguard.
trying to keep them doing mid shit.
Yeah. I just think that there are so many games right now, like they're thinking like, look how real this looks. Look how good this is, right? I think one thing that we can always go back to is Cyberpunk. The game promised, they promised a bunch of stuff from CD Projekt Red, and then the game came out broken as fuck. And then after updates, numerous updates, I believe the game is actually really good now.
Yeah,
according to
it's a
what I heard.
much different type of game than it was before. It's much more just like an open world action game. It's still got the same sort of story mechanics and everything, but the way you build your character is now much more Far Cry than RPG, where you used to be able to just make a really, really broken OP character in Cyberpunk, whereas now the combat balance is a lot better. You can't just absolutely destroy the game anymore, which is kind of a good thing, but it also, I don't know, changes it a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen images of footages of terrible AIs where they're literally shooting like the stormtroopers, and they like she's hiding in the bush.
The Asmongold clip.
Yeah, the Asmongold clip was hilarious. So he basically just like dragged them into a bush, like dragged like 4 of them, and he's just hiding in there. He's like, I'm not moving, and then they're like, where is she? You gotta find her. How is this good gameplay? And then another guy on TikTok is like, wow, this game looks really, really good. Immediately falls through the map. Right?
Well, Mahler was playing. I saw him he was in the middle of like a high wanted level, I guess, or that seemed like the effective thing where they were like sending TIE fighters after him and stuff at a certain point. But he was just like at the top of a little perch with like a charged sniper rifle that you like, it honestly takes about this long to fire. It's like,
Oh man.
that one gun, he would have like stormtroopers climb up the ladder and they'd be sitting there. He'd be able to charge that whole thing. They'd be like, stop. And they wouldn't fire a shot and he'd still be able to get that shot off. And they'd only come up one at a time. I was like, man, this is him at like a max wanted level where there's TIE fighters in the sky and they're sending one stormtrooper up at a time. It's like, well, this game's not ready, is it? Like you can't tell me that's how that was supposed to function. Funny enough, pretty similar to like the one system in Cyberpunk that at launch was not good. They might as well just not had it in the game and be like, you know what? Night City's now a lawless wasteland. We're just never gonna have cops because we can't make it work. It probably would have been their better bet.
Yeah. And the thing is, we have in a couple of months, we're going to be getting Assassin's Creed Shadows. So that game probably has a little bit more development time, but I think we might, given the track record, what we have now, like, do you think that game is also going to suffer from like numerous bugs as well?
Yeah, likely. And I think it's going to suffer most from the fact that it's like we already have Assassin's Creed Shadows at home and it's fucking Ghost of Tsushima, which is like really good. So it's like, wait, what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, who's really going to want to play the like Assassin's Creed in Japan thing if you've played Ghost of Tsushima? I can't see anyone getting pumped for it. That said, a lot of people like Assassin's Creed, so it might sell okay, but I don't know. I have zero interest in it, like none at all.
What about you, Grae? You how far did you get with Ghost of Tsushima?
Oh, it's still the same. It's like I have so much at my backlog that I wasn't able to get back to it. So I need more time before I have a better impression of Ghost of Tsushima. It's like I really think it's okay. I don't think it's really, really good compared to majority of what people are saying.
Yeah, what about compared to when's the last time you played an Assassin's Creed game? Because I think it blows most Assassin's Creed games out of the water as far as like its gameplay is concerned, at least.
Yeah, it kind of toppled Assassin's Creed already. Back, it's like Assassin's Creed was okay before Ghost of Tsushima came up, but then I think Ghosts kind of set the benchmark compared to modern Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I've never played any Assassin's Creed game, so I'm not sure if they're I might check out Assassins, we'll see. But yeah.
You honestly at this point just skip them. Like there's other game series that you could go back deep dive in that I think you'll have a hell of a lot more fun. And it's not like Assassin's Creed really needs like the attention, you know. Like it's granted. I mean, if you want to like make a video on it, studying it or something, maybe. But I've played a fair amount of them. They're okay.
Yeah.
Some of them have moments, but overall, they're just kind of okay.
Yeah, Ubisoft kind of saturated their own market. Just finish Nier first, Phil, before you jump into another franchise.
I still need to play. I need to beat Automata.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
man.
definitely played. Nier Automata is better than any Assassin's Creed game I've played. They're different leagues entirely.
Yep.
See, Seventh Hokage says, I'm so glad I played Star Wars Bounty Hunter and Republic Commando. It was my first ever playing both games, and I have no regrets.
I was never a big fan of Bounty Hunter, although I think Eggroll got gifted it, so I can maybe play her Steam copy. But I love Republic Commando. I think Republic Commando is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I can't remember the last time I bought a game.
Well, I mean, lots of inexpensive ones on Steam that are awesome.
Yeah, I bought 2 Tales games last night, even though I played them. I played one already.
I've actually never played a Tales game. I've played 5 of the Trails games though, which are different.
Yeah, I'm getting into I'm getting into the Trails games after I do my Chrono Trigger review.
They're doing a remake of Trails in the Sky, which is the first one, and that might be one where I've played Trails in the Sky. The first 2 Trails in the Sky games it's kind of one story that's told over 2 games. It's kind of like a duology, but it's really, really good. It's very well written, very.
I'm gonna get
characters.
into Trails Through Daybreak. Then I'll probably jump into the remake of Trails in the Sky.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of good JRPGs incoming with that Nintendo Direct announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. Let's see. Amelia Scroll Arm says, "A sick freaks invented the practice of releasing broken games." Like for me, like there's nothing wrong with pushing your game back. Okay, like as a game developer, people like for instance, let's see, Naoki Yoshida. What's it called again? Yeah, Yoshi P. Like he literally like cried and like begged for forgiveness from the fans that he had to push out what's it called again? And
Walker.
Walker. Like he's like, please, I'm so sorry. The game is still we're still working on it. Like please, like everyone will be okay with it. Like they did the same. What's it called again? Kitase also did the same thing with remake. Like it's like we're gonna push it out by 2 months. Like we're still trying to polish everything up. We want this game to be as good as possible. Like it's okay. Your fans will understand, right? If there's so much like Ubisoft diehards out there, like it's okay. People will understand you're gonna push your games back. You want to get them the best games so there's no bugs. But nope, people are just like, early access. You guys are, QA testers.
I think that it's probably. I can't imagine Ubisoft is in a great financial spot right now. So I think a lot of their moves for the last few years have been more out of desperation than out of careful planning. Or at least, that's my hunch.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's see. See, Mahler also said they need to make another Jango Fett series or a movie because he didn't understand why a character like that went out by his we all know.
Yeah. He got killed pretty abruptly.
Yeah, it was sad though. Like it was like super quick and it's like, he dead. That was it. Oh man, I thought he was gonna be a badass. Let's see. Well, I mean, is it even a good game if you can't see everyone's a reflection in a piss puddle?
Never thought that mattered even once, but lots of people really care about it.
Oh, I can't see myself. This game sucks. Oh, I can't see myself. Where's the ray tracing? It's like, who cares, man? Is the game good?
Like the fact that one of the things they're apparently going to be pushing with PS5 is that there's new tech they're using to make the ray tracing better. And I'm like, you guys, like, just RT off. How about that? Just have your games running well without trying to throw ray tracing on top of it. Like, I'm not great at doing hill runs these days. You know what's even harder for a one-legged man to run up a hill with? A 150-pound backpack. That ray tracing is the 150-pound backpack.
Yeah,
it makes games a lot harder to run.
Yeah. Like I remember, like I would use this. I use this program called Marmoset to render my 3D assets for my job. And whenever you use ray tracing, instead of like a 20-second render, it goes up to like 15 minutes.
hours.
Yeah,
Or something like that.
And that's just one character, like just a one single character for key arts. But if you're doing it to a background, it could take like 30 minutes to an hour just to get like a 1080 like shot. So it's just like do we need the ray tracing? How much does it add? Right?
In my opinion, not very much at all in most games. And the only time I ever put ray tracing on is when if I'm testing around in the settings, I can have it on and I'm still getting at least 60 FPS clean.
Yeah.
Whereas if it starts messing with the performance, it's like, well, however much nicer this looks, it's going to mess me up, especially if you're playing like an action game, like a Souls game or something. If you have a couple big frame drops at the wrong moment, that could be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially you're fighting like a boss that you've been there like you've been there for like 3 hours fighting this one boss. You finally downloaded their moveset, frame drop to like 12 for like 2 frames, and you instantly get one shot by the boss. Like, no!
Or you find yourself in a position where it's like, okay, well now he's gonna hit me with that attack, and there's nothing I can do at all.
Yeah. Let's see, Jose Taco, what's going on, man? I see a report from one retailer that Assassin's Creed Shadows has less than 800 pre-orders combined for Xbox and PS5 company. Man, really? They have over 900 stores.
Wow. So less than, I guess their average, I'm assuming this is GameStop, so I'm guessing this is less than 1 per store.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how many people are getting physical copies of these games though.
Yeah.
Like, is this one that you go, like, even if you do like physical copies, is Assassin's Creed Shadows one that you go out to the store for, or is it just like
one a physical game that I wanted that I don't have is Black Myth Wukong. I wish they had a physical one now.
Oh, there isn't? Huh,
no, there isn't a physical one. Like they have the deluxe, like physical deluxe edition where you get like the crown and you get like a bell and you get like a ring, and then the collector's one where you get the statue, but there's no actual physical edition of the game.
That's strange.
Yeah, come on. Even Stellar Blade had a physical edition of the game, in my opinion. You should.
It's one that like arguably became kind of valuable.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I have an RTX 40 series card, but even I rarely turn it on for Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I don't think you need it. Yeah, but here's the thing. For me, I'm not like a frame rate snob. 60 is fine. I don't need anything more than that. Like 120, like my monitor can handle it. Like I have a 240 hertz monitor, but like I think 60 is perfectly fine for me.
I mean, I'm playing through a capture card that's limiting me at 60 anyways, but I do like playing first-person shooters at higher frame rates, like if I'm playing on my laptop or something, or if I ever build a PC that's going to be back at my desk again, then over there. But it's not ultra necessary. I think though that the problem is when people start making the argument that's like, oh, you don't really have to worry about frame rate, it's okay to have ray tracing, like 30 FPS is fine. I think the issue with that is it opens the door for a lot of poorly designed, unoptimized games to come out, because it seems to be pretty easy for modern hardware to be able to run something at a pretty consistent 30 FPS, whereas 60 seems to be something that's challenging with the features that they're trying to throw in, like ray tracing, for example. So they have to do a lot of upscaling, which results in things like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth running at like 540p and being upscaled to 1080p so it can hit 60 FPS. And it's like, well, sure, but I mean, maybe you could have just like had frame rate as a priority when you started developing the game, and everything was secondary to that. As far as like, we need this game to run well so that the gameplay is clean, so that people can see what's going on, so they can react to things properly, so that input lag is reduced. And that's just not the case when they're shooting for 30, because they're like, okay, well, whatever, it's fine. It looks nice. They'll buy it.
Yo, what's going on, Max Drummer? Hope you're doing well.
Hello.
Let's see. All right. We need more physical collector's editions. Again, I'm surprised it did not. And me and Grae talked about this. I'm surprised they did not come out with a Stellar Blade collector's edition with a statue of Eve. Like that would have sold so fast, man.
Yeah.
It would have been
Probably.
insane.
I imagine in the sequel they'll do it. It's Stellar Blade 2.
Oh, yes. I mean, you've got companies like Limited Run that are still doing a lot of like physical collector's editions, but I guess like the older I get, the more I kind of think that a better bet might be to just get the game, like just the normal version of the game or whatever version of the game you want to get, and then just if you're really like it, as opposed to having to like pre-order a collector's edition that you've already bought the statue. If you really like the game, just get a nicer statue. You know, like spend the equivalent amount of money you would have spent on the collector's edition on just one nice thing, as opposed to here's a statue that is, you know, really cheap resin that we threw together pretty quick, but there's also a keychain and a sticker. It's like everything else other than the statues and those things is usually kind of lame. So I don't know. I think I don't think I'm much of a market for collector's editions these days, but I understand why people get excited about them.
Yeah. Semfokaya says, I'm still waiting for the Shadow the Hedgehog game to come out after watching Sonic 3 trailer. I'm ready to play that game. I haven't seen the trailer yet. Sonic 3 one. Is Keanu Reeves is voicing Shadow, right?
Oh, is he?
Huh. That's what I heard.
I didn't see the second movie, so I kind of feel like I need to watch that one before the third movie's even going to have any meaning to me at all. But
yeah,
I don't know. It seems like one I'd watch with Eggroll, and she's not suggested it.
Second one is pretty good. I like that. There's still the human aspect, but it's less annoying. But it's the Sonic stuff is cool. And and then you have 2 people from Cyberpunk 2077 voicing the characters, which is you have Idris Elba as Knuckles, and then you have Keanu as Shadow, which is actually pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump on to our next topic right over here, because we know that X-Ray has played the game. And she wore a blue wig for it too. Oh god. So let's talk about Dustborne. So this is a Kotaku article. We're not going to read the article, but this is the headline right over here. It says, Dustborne developers condemn tidal wave of hate and abuse directed at team. A choice-based adventure has been the latest game targeted by culture war nonsense. I've seen clips, but Grae, Mark, like what have you seen of this game that makes it even worse? Like
I've seen enough of it to be highly suspicious that it's like secretly a Daily Wire production and it's all just a parody. Like honestly, it's a joke. It's really over the top.
Oh man. Did X-Ray Girl get a refund, or she's still playing it?
No, she did. Well, both. She got a refund, but then people were asking her to play it so much that she was like, it would be financially irresponsible of me to not rebuy it and play more of it. But I'll be right back, though. I'm just going to grab a bottle of water. I've lost mine and my voice is going.
All right. Oh, no worries. So Grae, let's say if someone gifts it to you. Here's $30. Can you play Dustborne and stream it?
I won't really have a choice if that happens, but I don't think it's happening. But yeah, it's a shitty game. It's like, especially if you this week people were covering the funding. It's not just Norway that funded this. Like it took US also funded it, and other parts of Europe. Yeah, it's like it got millions, apparently millions of pounds, millions of euros in funding, and this is what they came up with. It's like, oh god, man. It's like, and I found, like, apart from the "you're racist" clip, it's like other clips are beginning to emerge. Like, oh, you can bully, you can cancel. It's like
yeah. See what I mean? Like, it's a bully and cancel are powers in this game. Everybody, it's not. He's not just saying those words.
Yeah, it's a full-on lens on the brain of these people, on how they think and how they interact with other people. It's like it's this DEI, the video game personified.
Yeah, like I've seen some gameplays of this, and this is really bad. So I don't think do they actually show the actual? No, they do not. So I think I actually have the thing pulled up. Let's see if I can find it. The Dustborne thing. It is right over here. See, we expected Dustborne to spark a conversation and debate, and looked forward to engaging with our players in a positive and constructive fashion. Unfortunately, that conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. We welcome thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. We embrace discussion and debate, but we have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassments, and threats of any kind. Those who engage in such behavior will be removed from our community. Well, what about inclusivity? What happened? But yeah, it's I can't believe that this is actually legitimately a game. But the thing is, they actually talking. I believe I'm trying to look for the actual thing, but while I'm looking for that, it's. Do you think that this game actually, warrants people to get triggered? Like the thing is that people are playing it. Is it actually that bad?
Well, I mean, it's that obvious. Like, it's that in your face. As far as like, does it trigger me? No. I mean, like, I'm not like infuriated by like, oh my god, they have a powerful black woman who's the front woman of a band who has special powers that can trigger people. That offends me. It's like, no, like that doesn't bother me at all. It's just silly. It's cringe. It's like, I can't believe people got paid to make this thing and released it. And I mean, it's obviously also not just me, because I mean, my wife has more viewers than this game has active players when she plays this game. Like, it's like, you guys aren't buying it either, okay? So I think everyone can agree that this game is silly and sucks, but
Yeah.
what's more wild is I can't believe it's serious. Like, I think actually here Tony G says like the Tom Hardy "that's bait" meme.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what this game is. Like, this feels like bait. It feels like rage bait more than an actual thing.
Yeah, so right over here. Okay, so I actually found it right over here. So the first paragraph says, since we first announced Dustborne, we've read your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes, and wishes for the game. Over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that's deeply meaningful to us, a story about the power of words, about building a world where everyone can feel safe, about love, relationships, and robots, of course. So if that's the case, then I do want to bring up a clip over here. They're talking about how you want to be safe about love, friendships, and robots. There's a clip right over here, comes from Learning the Law, and it talks. There's a robot over here. Let's see what they do to this robot. Let's see.
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's the golem doing on the bus?
Ma'am, I'll be happy to serve as your driver.
Oh, why is she so mad at the robot?
I want to assure you that I'm fully capable of
the only option to address this robot after it says I'm capable of operating this vehicle is to push this robot.
Oh, what does push mean in this context? Is that like to?
I think literally
physically push this robot, I think.
Oh. Well, no, but isn't it all like dialogue choices here? I think like push might be like start to berate him or something.
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't mean that you have software, of course. You lack the paperwork, but I don't need any.
I'm not going to be mean to it.
I don't know if there's a way through though.
Yeah, I think push is just
Don't touch me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Push basically. Why is she so mad?
Yeah, like
yeah.
Like that's what I mean. It's like it can't be serious. It's like,
oh man, oh no, dude. Like this I bet you the reason why this robot is like they're so mad at this robot is because the robot's taking the bus driving job away. They're taking their jobs. I don't know.
Oh, he's like AI, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Or the robot doesn't have any pronouns. Not like
Yeah.
I mean, so, but like, that gives me so many questions about like, how do robots work in this world then? Like, do they have feelings? How developed is their AI? Should we feel bad for that robot? Is you shouting, "Don't touch me," and like reacting aggressively something that it's even going to give a shit about at all? Or might it just be like, this human's heart rate is elevated?
Yeah. And another thing right over here, I'm just going back to this first paragraph. It's all about a world where everyone feels safe. And then this is one of your power-ups. It's called Bully. We've learned
This one
to bully people. Bully gives us the power to force people to do something they may not want to do or to make them feel bad about themselves. In fights, this could be highly effective on targeted enemies. Oh, man. Yeah, like you said, Mark, this seems like satire.
No, like honestly, if it ends, like if the post-credit scene in this is Ben Shapiro just going like, "Thank you for playing this. Do you understand that this is what the liberals are trying to teach you? They're trying to teach not you, but your kids as well. My wife's a doctor."
Oh man. And so here's the thing. There's a person that's extremely unhinged about people who are talking about this game. And this person, okay, don't go harass this person. I don't know who this person is. So it says, men as a concept was cooked. Men are the weakest link, truly.
What does men as a concept was cooked even mean?
I guess men being a you know, a figure. I don't know, being a
What
I don't
was
know.
cooked? Wait, is this a? I guess it is a reply. What's the reply to?
I don't know. This is just something I found.
Oh, okay.
And here's another one. It's a wow. Do not read the comments on the Goodbye Volcano High trailer on YouTube, man. Sometime in the future, gamers might realize that everything isn't made to cater specifically to you, and that's okay. Personally, can't wait to fulfill my dream of being a gay dinosaur.
I still remember when the first trailer for that game came out. It was so funny. It's like-
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
I believe this is the developer of the game. Because
oh,
I know
okay.
she was
Goodbye Volcano High, or
no,
Dustborne.
of Dustborne. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
know she was the one who responded when the allegations came out that the dorm rooms of Dustborne is a copy paste of GTA. I know she was the one who responded. to it.
Oh, I see. And here's another one. It's like, I will put knitting men and sexy non-binary peeps in your video game, and I will never stop. Be afraid. I come not in peace.
Well, I mean, this is just a not very nice person.
Yeah.
Like this isn't someone who wants to make good video games. This is someone who wants to piss people off. She wants to piss off the people she doesn't like.
And here we go. This is, if you go to her, well, you can't really harass her anyways. I'm not saying you should, but
No, don't. She's talking.
don't.
You're talking to a wall, anyways. Like
Yeah,
you're not going to
because-
convince this person of anything.
because her account is private and protected.
Yeah, well, I mean, even still, you
there we
shouldn't
go.
Anyways, like even
Game
if you
designer,
could, you should not.
Yeah,
Game
by
designer Red
Dustborne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this game is looks really, really bad. And let's go ahead and check the Steam charts while we're at it. I think it's definitely really fun checking that out.
It's still
because
at 83, I imagine.
Dustborne. All right, Dustborne current still at 83.
Yeah.
23 right now, highest
Well,
in past 24
83
hours.
is the peak, though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the all time?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
all-time.
So I mean, the far right number is the only one that we really need to look at because that one
Yeah.
will stay up forever. So like, there's never been more than 83 people playing this game at the same time.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like you
I
said,
told Phil, yeah, we have more viewers right now than their all-time peak. Which is something.
yeah, and Mark, like you said, X-Ray Girl got like it. Last time I think I saw like 600.
No joke, like 10 times the amount of players the game had were watching X-Ray Girl. And X-Ray Girl's
That's-
not like a gigantic streamer either. She's not like, we're not one of the people that has like just 45,000 people watching her casually,
Yeah, man, that's really, really bad. And if the fact that we hate it, it's a problem for them. But waste of money. Who cares? Like people are like, oh, you got to play this game. You got to give this game a shot. It's the same thing with this. Same thing with Concord. Same thing with any garbage game that they're coming out with. People are just not going to play it. But like I said, do not gift us this game. We will not play it. Please don't. Maybe Grae will. Maybe Grae will do it.
I will not. I'll reject the gift. You can also do that on Steam, everybody.
Oh, I didn't know you can reject stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
really?
can just
Oh.
say it's cool, man. Don't worry, and like hit the. You don't have to hit accept. You can hit
All
the
right,
other
that's
one.
good to know. That is good to
And
know.
hey, it saves the viewer money if you do that too. So it's not always an insult. It's just, hey, maybe I'm not going to play this game, so I don't want to take it from you. And there you go.
Yeah. Let's see. Heli Leo says, I'm glad streamers are getting way more engagement from playing the game than their Steam section will ever have.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. Let's see. Accidental satire. Yep. Let's see. Changing the definition of words again. Yep. Yeah, that's what they're known to do. I think changing whatever words mean. It's just
Words mean things. Something I've said that many times on the internet because you won't believe how many times I've been in an argument where the person's like, well, when I said this, I didn't mean that. And I'm like, you said when I said this, I didn't mean the definition of that word. Like you need to be clear when you're saying something that doesn't mean what most people would think it means.
Yep. I see. Jose Taco says people like that are made because they don't really have problems and create them. Send them over to a third world country that will teach them appreciation. Yep.
Yeah,
I think.
spend some time in the military.
Yeah. Let's see. Have you seen the cancel ability? No, I have not.
Yeah, you can ostracize people from their friends.
Oh man, that's so crazy, man. Let's see. Hey guys, got off work early and got the cast to stream. What's up, yo? What's going on, Wayward Culture? Hope you're doing well, man.
Oh.
Let's see. They need to put Mario Kart Double Dash, Sonic DX, and Adventure 2 Battle on the Switch. Those games were really fun to play. Also, OG Teen Titans game was really fun as well.
Are DX and Battle not on there? Like Adventure 2? I feel like they're on everything. But Mario Kart Double Dash, I don't think they're probably going to put until they do their GameCube subscription service. So your best bet just play
Because
it
that's
on
what they did with the 64, right? Like they have like the OG Mario Kart, like the Mario Kart 64. You can play that.
Yep, they charge you a monthly subscription for subpar ROM emulations. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and the fact that they're cracking down on those ROM emulation websites too. They're like, no, you have to buy ours.
That's never gonna happen. You know why it's gonna be? It's always impossible to stop an emulator once it exists. Because every time you go to a GitHub page to download an emulator, the source code will be right there. As long as one guy downloaded the source code, put it on a drive somewhere, Nintendo can cease and desist whatever they want, and that's going to be uploaded the next day, and people are going to keep working on it just in a different iteration and call it something else. It's why, like, I think that it was the day after Yuzu and I think it was Citra was the other one that got taken down. There was like something like 2,000 Yuzu clones on like forks on GitHub the next day, and Nintendo was trying to like take them all down. But like, it's always actually funny. We were talking about Firefly earlier. It's the line from Serenity I always say. It's just like, you can't stop the signal. Like, just don't try. You know what you can do though? Release your games and let people buy them. You know what you can't buy on your Switch right now? Mario Kart 64. You have to sub to their online service to play it. And it's like, why do that? Just let people buy it.
And that's the thing that I've been having an issue with Capcom until most recently. I was like, dude, like everyone wants to play like these OG Capcom fighting games, like even like Pocket Fighter or Puzzle Fighter. Like we want those games.
Darkstalkers.
Like Dino Crisis, all that kind of stuff. It's like, dude, just put them out. People will buy them. And the thing is that they did do that with the Darkstalker, a collector's edition, and nobody bought them. Like there's only select people bought them, and then
when was there a Darkstalkers collector's edition?
There was
collection. I'm guessing is
it was like the fighting game collection that came out I think like 2 years ago, and not a lot of people bought that one, unfortunately. But everyone got super hyped most recently because for the Capcom fighting arcade fighting edition that comes with MVC2, which is
Capcom
insane.
Fighting Collection. Yeah, okay, I have it.
Right, and then most recently they also have the new one that's coming out. That I never think that we're gonna do the CVS2 collection as well, like that.
Well, I mean, I guess they just did
2.
SVC Chaos. SNK just released it, and they're doing this year. They're doing Mai and Terry and Street Fighter 6, so it makes some sense. Yeah,
so like I'm like, yes, and the thing is, like I know people from Marvel, and they're one of their producers on their side. They said that this, at least the MVC2 one, the collection that's coming out in a couple weeks, like in like 2 weeks, that one has to do well. If that one does not do well, say goodbye to Marvel's Capcom 4 or whatever, like the new one. Like say goodbye to that. If this collection does not do well,
did they already made a fourth one though, right? Infinite. Right?
Well, Infinite is not. Yeah, I guess it would say MVC 5 then, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, so like they said that if the game does not sell well, then say goodbye to that. So for me, I'm gonna buy a physical edition of that one for sure.
I'll probably pick it up on Steam. Although I have an emulation of the Dreamcast version of MVC2, and it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that one's good.
And MVC3 I have on Steam.
Do you upscale it like to like 1080?
Yeah, pretty much every time I emulate anything, I'm upscaling it to 4K, and it's not a problem because you're playing like a PS2 game on a 3090. Actually, I have a big texture pack that I got in that Berserk PS2 game as well. I got one for Gran Turismo 4 as well. The PS2 emulator is in a good spot right now.
Yeah. Yo, what's going on? Alec Baldwin's finger hanging out in the chat. Yo, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Yes, they've been cracking down emulator sites lately. Some of the sites I go to, emulators are gone. Yeah. I used to go to like Cherry ROMs or whatever, like long time ago from like Super Nintendo stuff.
But like, I mean, they're never going to be able to crack down on like torrents, right? So it's like, well, I mean, it's like, are you going to do like, is it even worth putting the resource into fighting this, or is piracy something that or piracy and emulation, I guess, because technically you can do emulation without pirating at all. But it'll always be in the background as a threat for you to offer us things that we want to pay for. And it's kind of what I think that like everyone who says like, oh, like no, piracy's bad. It's like, it's not always bad because it's the thing that keeps them from just totally screwing us with the way they treat their customers and respect our purchases and start telling us things like Ubisoft about like, you got to start being comfortable with not owning these games. It's like, no, fuck you. If you make us do that, we're just going to pirate it. They need to have that threat there or else they're just going to, things are just going to get worse and worse.
Yep. Confiteno says, I saw that Golden Sun became available on Switch via advanced subscription. Sadly, it's just a port and not a remaster. Man, a remaster, a HD remaster of Golden Sun would have been really good.
Was that DS or Game Boy Advance?
That was Advance, I believe. It was,
I didn't play it, but I knew a couple of friends of mine said it was pretty good.
Yeah, like for me, I'm waiting for them to do a remaster. I know they're like, oh, you can just buy Ogre, tactical, whatever, the Ogre tactical thing.
Oh, Tactics Ogre Reborn?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a game. But I was like, people are waiting for Tactics, like Final Fantasy Tactics remaster.
Tactics, yeah.
People are waiting for that one because they want the OG like soundtrack with that.
Yeah, I think really Tactics Ogre kind of suffered when it really. I don't think it did well. The remaster.
Have you guys played Unicorn Overlord?
I plan to actually. It was supposed to be
good. I recommend that game. It's it's not like Tactics Ogre. It's actually kind of closer to Ogre Battle, but it's a vanillaware game, so the art's amazing. The story's incredible. Like it's probably one of the best stories at least I've played of theirs. And yeah, it's got a neat gameplay style. It's kind of a real-time strategy game with pausing, except instead of commanding like units, you're commanding little JRPG parties that you can configure yourself with like healers and tanks and all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, I believe someone mentioned it last week. Yeah.
It's one of the best games I played this year.
It keeps coming back up actually here, so maybe I should put that back in my lineup of videos.
Yeah. See, Sefokage says Critical Drinker also said that it was good that Oda, is it ODA or Oda, have a little more control over the live action series of One Piece because he knows it better than anyone else, and it's why it beat Ahsoka.
I'm actually I'm on volume 5 of the One Piece manga now.
Oh,
Still
okay.
pretty early on, but
so did you watch the live action show first, or were you into the manga first?
The live action thing's the first thing I ever saw of it, and honestly, the manga to me seems less daunting than the anime.
Yes, and the thing is that you're getting no filler, so it's all like actual like things.
Yeah,
but I still have to watch it, man. Like the anime is because it's just like the fact that there's 1,000 what's it called again? Like I can just watch it in the background working. Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's like reading the manga. It's like I actually get to kind of like focus on it as opposed to just kind of throwing it on because I think it's a filler episode. But it's 109 volumes, and I mean I'm on 5 now, and I started reading it like 4 days ago. So now, granted, I'm not gonna like buy all of them right away. I'll probably grab like a couple a month, but
yeah. All right, let's see. Carlos Garcia says the thing about pirating movies and shows is okay. One person sees it for free, but they spread the word of it being good.
Yep, that's the other thing.
Yep, that's how it should be. I think a lot of things are word of mouth right now is people don't trust online, journalists and movie reviews much anymore. Is because they have all been lied to. Access journalism, and then they get. Oh, thanks for letting us watch this movie or TV show for free. We'll say nice things about whatever you come, and then it tricks people. It's like we go in and we watch. It's like this is actually really bad. What the hell? So that's why YouTubers and people who actually believe in word of mouth is actually the main thing that kept a lot of, especially like Top Gun Maverick, kept that thing in the theaters for a long, long time before it even went to streaming.
Absolutely, that's a great example.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about our next topic right over here. And I don't know what this is, but it's a game called Soulash 2. It comes from That Park Place. Soulash 2 developers refuses to cater to LGBTQ plus mob trying to cancel the game. Quote, there's nothing to fear from the oppressive mob trying to force their ideology. Good on them. Good on them. I don't know what this
what's this game about and what's the controversy? It looks like just a fantasy game. Is this like a mobile game or something? I've never heard of this before.
It's an indie RPG, like I think it's not. It's similar to Terraria. I could be wrong, but the main premise of why this got reached headline is because he didn't want to remove the male and female gender. So the woke mob was wanting, we got body type A, body type B. Then
This
the
looks like it looks like
developer
it almost
didn't
looks like a
want it.
Dungeons and Dragons board you're moving around on this thing. It's very simplistic. Like, why is this game even on anyone's radar for like, oh my god, you need to add a body type 1 or something up.
Yeah,
It's so strange. Like, I'm looking at this game, I'm like, how is this game controversial?
Wow. Yeah, it's very like 8-bit.
Ultra simplistic.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Then for a while it went to mostly negative on Steam. Then I think Grums and other people picked up on it. Then it went to very positive. So the people countered their cancel attempt. That's why it reached headlines. That's
I mean,
that's
like,
the premise.
it's not like there's not other games that just say male and female for your like in character select, right? Like, I mean, it's not like everyone's just committed to the body type 1 and 2 thing. Which, I mean, like, to be honest, like, I guess I've never been ultra bothered by that because I'm like, okay, screw it, as an option in a character creator, I don't really care what it's called. But I mean, it's different when it's like, oh no, you have to do it, otherwise we're mad at you, little tiny tabletop sim game. Like, or at least I don't know. That's what it looks like because of the tiles and the circular character portraits. It looks like God, what's the Dungeons and Dragons freaking website? Is it Roll20?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever the Geeks and Gamers tabletop people use.
Yeah, let's see. Soulash developer Arthur, I'm not going to pronounce that last name, I'm going to screw it up, refused to cater to the LGBTQ plus mob, trying to cancel the game after they refused to include the LGBTQ plus relationships in the game. On August 15, Smiarowski shared an update titled Married with Children, where he revealed, I have the first of the 2 parts of the family feature, where you can start your new family in your settlement, marry someone to move to your town and family, and have children with them. He continued, by having your own family, you can also start working at your building as another way to generate wealth, train your potential.
That kind of sounds like RimWorld, actually. Oh, I guess, yeah, RimWorld's one of the recommendeds in the in this thing. I think Savvy plays that a lot.
Oh yeah,
And
I think she mentioned it. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
train
it's
your
one of
potential.
Regs' favorite games.
Or just progress the world by a couple of years while ensuring your legacy lives on after your inevitable doom. So you have, this is the game. Actually looks pretty cool. Like, I actually like the pixel style. See, in the discussion and the update, Steam user 2023 Subaru Impreza questions, hey Arthur, thank you for your hard work. I'm a queer fan of your game and wanted to ask if same-sex relationships would be possible in future updates. I know other devs, like the ones who made Medieval Dynasty, said they considered it too late to put into the game. I just wanted to see if it was something on your radar or if it would be safe for you to implement in the future. Banned. So I think this is not like malicious in any way. So I think it's okay for this, but
yeah, I think, like, as far as this question, it seems fine. Like, it's not really giving him shit for not having him in there yet in any way. Because you could have asked this in a way that was much more bothersome. Like, you're like, absolutely. I noticed there's no same-sex relationships. Like, I think that would be a lot more antagonistic. Whereas this person's like, hey, is this going to be an option? Might be kind of nice for me.
Yeah. See, he responded with, the main purpose of our family system is to create a legacy through children, and given our limited ways to interact with NPCs, I don't think there's a good way to represent relationships. So I don't plan to expand on that right now. So see, the right now is like, hey, we're not sure. We can't do it right now, but you don't know down the future.
I think his reason is quite good from a design standpoint too. He's just like, really the only point of relationships in this game is having children, because that's part of the gameplay. But we wouldn't have a way to represent a relationship between a same-sex couple other than, oh, these two are together now in the menu, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think that's fair. It's not even necessarily like Tony, you said technical. I don't think it's technical so much as it's design. It just doesn't fit. It's like, what is the gameplay for even a heterosexual relationship that's just a relationship and not reproductive? How is that represented in this game that, like, again, like, I don't know the game inside and out, but look at it. It doesn't seem like there's going to be big cinematics where, like, you have a wonderful relationship with kissing and the Baldur's Gate style sex scenes. Like, it's like your two little circles with an avatar inside. It's like, and sometimes you have kids that go on to be the people you play as later on. But if you have a same-sex relationship or a platonic relationship or non-breeding relationship, I guess, it adds nothing to the game. You're just two circles that are next to each other.
Yeah. See, more extended interactions were something that some players wished was a bigger focus on the game, but unfortunately, it would take too long time. It would take a long time to probably and removal of conversations and dialogue systems to turn Soulash into The Sims, as well as other games I'm already trying to mix. He noted. He concluded with, "We're gonna have to see if I ever get excited about it, but right now I'm too pumped to go to war to delay it any further." Yeah, and I think that's a good response from the developer, like you said. I think he's like, "Hey, this is actually our messaging and our reasoning." So, I think that should be a good response, right? But on the beginning of August 22nd, a number of LGBTQ plus activists began posting negative reviews of the game, giving Smiarowski indicated that he would not be including a disordered LGBTQ plus relationships in the game. The reviews began in 2023. Subaru Impreza wrote, "Developer banned me from Soulash 2 community for asking him to implement same-sex marriage in the same way he implemented heterosexual relationships."
Did this person get banned?
Yeah, I believe so. Because if you go back up, like, they have a tag over here next to their name that says banned.
Was that the last message they sent though?
Yeah,
I feel like this is not the whole
we need more
story.
context for that.
That's my question too.
Like that
Exactly.
message isn't getting you banned. That was a perfectly respectful, constructive criticism, really, or like feedback from a player. Now, granted, it was misguided because the guy didn't really have any way to implement it. But like, I mean, I don't think he would have gotten banned from that comment.
Yeah, my gut's telling me too. There was more messages that got more vicious. Yeah.
All right, let's see. You see, this user claimed he enabled his community to harass me with homophobic rhetoric, which they still do to this very day. Cannot recommend supporting this game with a clear stance by the dev and his community against the LGBTQ plus player base. Addendum, I am disappointed in the route the developer is currently taking, trying to spin the narrative of an organized gay review bomb when the reality is he destroyed his current community for money and replaced them with people with hate in their hearts without a second thought to the people he might hurt in doing so. Do better, Arthur. Subaru Impreza concluded. This person has to have done something else. I'm trying to see if there's anything else, right? But as of right now, there are a lot of people who are review bombing this. But who cares? Like, the thing is, I feel like there's a lot of these people online think that they can, lack of a better term, bully the developers to bend the knee to their will. Right.
Well, I mean, I think they can review bomb if they want. Like, you can always review bomb something if you want to leave something a negative review, you are allowed to do that as far as I'm concerned, and for whatever reason you want. But it's also the reason I like Steam for that, because you can see how much of the game the person's played, right? Like,
that's true.
Like, that's why I recommend actually go into the reviews. If you see something's mostly negative, it might be something like this, where you notice every view is like, yeah, the developer didn't want to put gay relationships in this. When it's like, that might not be something you care about at all, even though it's the reason it's overwhelmingly negative. And all the good reviews are, this game actually rocks, everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So always check out their playtime. Often too, if it's a lot of playtime, especially if it's an excessive amount, check out their achievements, because if they have like 400 hours in the game, they might have just left it on the menu screen for like a week and a half. And but that's the thing, you can see what they've done, right? If they've only earned one achievement or none, they probably haven't played too much of the game, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have one person over here, Salty Snow, left a fucking dissertation. Like, this basically wrote an essay about I had high hopes for further development of this game, as it appears they have great potential. Unfortunately, I can't support this game while the developer is signaling racist and anti-LGBT politics in his designs of choices. And then here's another one right over here. It's our hard coding marriage to be exclusively heterosexual so that modders can't even add in same-sex marriages. That's actually pretty funny. You can't mod the game.
Well, I mean, I gotta wonder how that works, though. Like, is that true? It's like, did you try to mod it? How good are you at making mods? How easy is this game to mod at all? That's another good question. It might just not be a game that's easy to mod, because I don't like. Is there? Oh man, I have so many questions. See, that's what I mean. Like none of these complaints are simple, and these accusations are kind of tough to qualify what's actually happening, right? Like it's like, well,
let's see. Here's another one. Let's see. Game is all right. Dev is active, but they're also pretty bigoted. Just don't feel comfy playing or recommending a game with a dev like this. In case anyone wants more context, the developer is going on insane homophobic rants over Twitter. And a bit in his Discord as well. Here's another one. Developer attaches real world beliefs in game mechanics rather than writing a detached fantasy world, if you can call it writing compared to this first game. And then the dev actually responded, this review is a part of a poor attempt to at review bombing to make me do hours of extra work for free. I'm not your slave.
Now I also wonder, like we really need the context of what both of these parties are saying, because he might have just started lighting them up with like F slurs and stuff.
Okay, all right,
and then it's like, okay, well, I guess I understand why they're pissed. But I mean, like, how are they not posting screenshots from the Discord with this?
So here's what he wrote on Discord, not Discord, Twitter. You see, they are so mad at me for adding legacy through children to my multi-generational sandbox game. Here's another one. Fine, call me intolerant, but I can't understand a person who looks at the screen and thinks, I must fuck everything that moves and have mutant babies.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. Like, it's like, what game are you guys attacking here? Like, what's your goal? Like,
oh man, that's actually pretty funny.
Why this game? It's like, it's really still blowing my mind. I'm just like, why is this one in the crosshairs right now?
Yeah, live and let live. Here's another one. My grandparents survived the Nazis. My parents endured communism. I had to live through religious oppression since the age of 10. And now some spoiled brats think I'll bend my knee to their rainbow flag, or else they'll type some words. I already have a flag I'm proud of. Oh man.
Actually, which flag is that? Am I crazy? I'm not like recognizing that off. Like the eagle's throwing me off.
Yeah. What?
Know? Someone's got to know.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
yeah.
Albania?
What flag is this? Chat. You guys. Chat.
My
You guys know.
Gonna kill me for not knowing that.
Albanian. Estonia. Oh man, that's actually pretty funny. Oh man. Let me see what the flag is. Let's see.
The Albania one does have like an eagle thing on it. It's got like two heads and it's all red though.
Okay, so I think it might be Poland.
Oh, really? I don't think it had that symbol on it, but
is it? I'm not sure. I'm looking at it right now.
I feel even worse for not realizing the Polish flag, if that is true.
Is that? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think.
Doesn't have a symbol.
It is. How about that?
Yeah,
I feel like it didn't always have that though, isn't it? Like, wasn't it just white and red before?
I think they might have changed it.
I can see different variations of it too.
Yeah, it's Naval Ensign of Poland.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, but man, that's actually pretty funny. Just woke up. The lightning didn't hit me. I don't feel canceled. After all, it looks like there was nothing to fear from the oppressive mob. Thank you for everyone who went past a single tweet and offered their support and understanding. Yeah. And this is my response a week ago. After that response, a week-long activism campaign engulfed all of our community channels. So I showed my teeth. The oppressive people left, and now we can continue to have fun in peace. Man, I think this is a pretty based, just don't, if you want to review bomb my game, go for it. But like your review bomb means nothing to me. That kind of thing. I think what he says, what he's saying, he's not like, shouting racial slurs at them or anything like that. I think all he's saying is just like, this is my game, man. It's like, it is what it is. Oh, right here. I've heard people falsely claim I intentionally hard-coded a way not to have gay marriage in mods. I want to clarify that Soulash 2 is on a custom engine, and modding is only configuration based.
There you go.
This means there's no way to develop new mechanics or change the simulation. There it is.
Yeah, like he's just like, this isn't a game that supports mods. What are you talking about?
The cavalry has arrived. I will keep that review bomb as a badge of honor, hoping it will encourage more developers to resist mob pressure and focus on developing the best games they can according to the design's goals. Thank you for your support. Yeah, and it went up a lot. Now, I believe it used to be negative. Now it's mixed. So, yeah, it's there's a lot. There is a lot that he went through, but yeah, I think overall, I think they tried to do this too, like add in LGBTQ stuff. Whether or not if it furthers the game and other narrative, it's like, does it make sense, right? And that's what the developer said. Does it make sense to have, same-sex marriages about legacy in our game? And it doesn't. So, this is what my game is, and if you guys don't like it, then it is what it is. And
Yep.
good on him. Good on him. Let's see. Let's go ahead and read what the chat is saying right now. Let's see. Okay. There's a guy named Critical Drinker, and I used to be there all the time, but his recommendations are crap, and no one tells him this, but I did. Well, the thing is, I think liking stuff really depends on it's subjective. You can like stuff that everyone hates, right? Like, me and Mark, we were on what's it called again? What's that? Epic Mike's thing? Epic Verse. Yeah, we were on Epic Verse. And man, Benology has a lot of bad takes. A lot of them.
Matrix is mid. That's
yes.
I'm never gonna get over.
He says the Matrix is mid. Yeah, I'm just like, what? It's like, no way, right? So, but the thing is, you can like bad stuff. It's okay. It's like sometimes, like for me, like a movie that I like that a lot of people hate is probably like I like the Street Fighter movie because of Raul Julia.
Yeah,
like
Street Fighter movie is a fun bad movie.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay. What's going on, Davina? Hope you're doing well. What's going on? Let's see. That user just putting words on the developer's mouth. Where's the evidence? Yeah. I don't think what they're saying is anything like bigoted or like, sending the hate mob against them. It doesn't sound like it at all. Let's see. Let's continue going down. Let's see. I guess they thought the game needed some Polish. Sounds like I should buy the game. Yeah, the game is not that much, right? It's like under $20. And
yeah, it doesn't seem like a game that would be very expensive by the look of it.
Yeah. It's so gay how gay everything is getting. Yeah, I think they like not everything has to like, oh, I can't see myself in this movie. I can't see myself in this game. I'm going to hate it. Like there's no point in that. Like people can't just enjoy stuff anymore. Let's see, Poland is a country in Europe without any terrorist attacks. Also, Poland Springs good water. Oh, sorry, Poland Springs water is good. My bad. Let's see,
a lot of game developers there too.
Yep. They're already working on a One Piece live action season 2. It comes out next year. The cast looks amazing. A lot of new actors. Only Acolyte took a seasons. If only the Acolyte took lessons, there be a season 2. The power of no more. Yeah, and the fact that I heard Katie Seagal, she's gonna be in it. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think I forgot the character she's playing, like the old lady with the glasses. Phil is gay.
I haven't got to her in the manga yet.
Yeah, I don't even know who she is. I think originally a lot of people wanted Jamie Lee Curtis to play her, and I'm like, maybe.
Like,
I prefer Katie, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is, like, she's like 70, I believe, and she still looks really good.
Yep.
Let me see.
It's Peg Bundy we're talking about, everybody.
Yeah.
Also, Leela from Futurama.
Yes, Katie Seagal. Yeah, she is awesome. I think I spelled her name wrong. Katie Seagal. I think
this is Segal.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, here it is. I found an image of her, and she still looks for her age. She still looks really good. How old is she right now? She's 70 years old.
Yeah,
and for a 70-year-old, I think she still looks pretty good for her age.
I think she married the guy who did Sons of Anarchy. She's on the show too. But yeah, no, she still looks great.
Ron Perlman?
No, not the actor from it.
Okay.
The guy who like runs the show, the showrunner and writer. The guy who created the show.
Oh, Kurt Sutter.
Yeah, Kurt Sutter. That's it.
Kurt Sutter. Yeah. She looks great for 70 years, man. Holy crap. She was really good. I always thought she was hot
on Sons of Anarchy also.
Yes, I loved her in Sons of Anarchy. The mom would do anything for her kid. Yeah, I actually liked her character.
Yeah, Eggroll always gets offended when I call her my old lady, and she just doesn't get it. I'm just like, just watch Sons of Anarchy, and you'll understand what I mean when I say you're my old lady. I'm not calling you old. It's not what it means.
Well, the thing is, in Cantonese, we call our like we don't usually call them like we just call them lo paw. Lo paw is old lady. It actually means old lady in Cantonese. So like let's say Mandarin is lao po, right? It means old lady.
For in Sons of Anarchy though, it's like a biker gang thing where like your wife is someone that you just say she's called your old lady, even if you're 21 and she's 19, like she's still your old lady. It's not an age thing. It's just like it's what you call your wife in that world.
Yeah, but the show is good. I don't think I finished it. All right, did you finish it, Mark?
Yeah.
The part where I left off was okay. It wasn't because the Asian guy died. Okay, that's not the reason why. But it's when the Asian guy died that like after that I'm like, all right, like I don't think I had time to watch it anymore.
It's it ends kind of somber, but it's a pretty good ending. I'd recommend finishing it.
Okay,
It's not like I think the first few seasons are probably the best ones, but I think it stays pretty strong throughout.
Am I close?
I'm to be honest, I'd have to really think. But if you told me what season, I think there's 4 seasons total.
Okay,
pretty sure, maybe 5. Pretty sure it's 4.
I actually liked the main character's like I guess girlfriend, on and off wife girlfriend.
Oh oh god, what's her name?
Her name starts with a T, right? I forgot.
Tara.
Yeah, Tara. Yeah, actually like her.
I was like, I'm gonna remember this by figuring out how Charlie Hunnam says it, because it's like it's a word I don't think he ever really perfectly learned the American accent for, and it's his girlfriend's name on the show, so he says it all the time, but he's always like Tara. And he's like he can't really say it because he's British.
Yes. Okay, I'm not sure about this. Sons of Anarchy is really good. Better than Breaking Bad?
That's a tough opinion. I think I can understand. I could see why people like Sons of Anarchy more than Breaking Bad as like more a subjective thing. Like I prefer this to that. I can see why that argument would be made. I'd probably pick Breaking Bad out of the two, but Sons of Anarchy was quite good.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy is really good, and there's more, I guess, not full on nudity, but there's more girls. There are more girls in Sons of Anarchy. Now there's that one stripper scene in Breaking Bad though. I do gotta admit. But that is crazy, man. Grae, you need to watch a couple episodes, maybe a season or 2 of Sons of Anarchy, because I know that your favorite show series is Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but I'll see, because like I started reviewing Fairy Tale, so I don't know.
Yes,
I gotta find time.
How are you liking Fairy Tale?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like I finished uploading season 1, but I'm not sharing the channel yet to anyone. I'll crank it a few more episodes before I reveal it to everyone. So I'll finish episode 2 today, because I plan to do it on a weekly basis. So I'm pushing for more regular stuff compared to what I normally do with my other channels. So I don't know if I still have time for movies or TV shows, but anyway, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. Katie Siegel, Patricia Heaton. No, Patricia Heaton is Deborah, right? From Everybody Loves Raymond. I think so.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. That name sounds familiar though. I didn't watch Everybody Loves Raymond though. So
yeah, okay. There was an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond where Patricia Heaton looks like she was like she pretended she got like breast implants. And to trick Raymond, and like she wore like a really nice like red dress and stuff like that, and she actually looked really good, because like normally she looks like a regular housewife, right? And then one time she dolls up and she really looks good. I'm like, oh wow, like she actually looks pretty good. But yeah, and she's super based too, and I believe she's also religious as well. So but yeah, wow, yeah, she does actually look really good when she's young too. There it is. I believe this is probably her in her like 30s or something like that. But yeah, she looks good. Let's see. All right. Fairy Tale is actually good. What you know about Happy?
What you know about Happy? I just know he's just a sidekick of Natsu, like you know, the supporting character. But I did notice like a character there. It's like a cameo of an anime that got discontinued. It's like Plu. I know that's a pet name for like what in Rave Master, but Rave Master I know got discontinued. I don't know how Plu got moved into Like it's the exact same character. He got moved to another anime. I don't know how that happened. Maybe chat knows.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on to our next one. I know that this game is I'm not sure if it's out yet. So is Visions of Mana out already?
Yeah, it just came out a couple of days ago. I was supposed to cover it in my main channel, but I decided, nah, I think I'll just skip it and cover Trails Through Daybreak instead. So yeah, it's kind of sad. I wasn't expecting that they would close the studio right after they released the game. So it's like to be honest, it's kind of discouraging. Like maybe it was the right call for me not to put that in my lineup of video reviews.
Okay. I've never played any Mana's game. Mark, have you?
No, actually, I haven't either. I was going to say the Mana games are ones that just I never got around to.
Yeah, like the one that I really wanted to play, everyone said that was really good, was Secret of Mana for Super Nintendo. And then, it's like, oh, it's a first 3-player game. You need the multi-tap and you need to plug it in. I never got a multi-tap, but yeah, I think those are expensive too. So all right, let's go. Let's read this article right here. It comes to us from Games Radar. Let's see, Visions of Mana has only been out for a day. So this is 2 days ago, but its developer has reportedly lost most of its staff and is at risk of a shutdown. Oka Studios has reportedly been hit with layoffs. Damn, that sucks. Game looks pretty good too. I like the art.
Yeah,
kind of makes me wonder if the development was particularly troubled, because it's usually not a great sign if the second the game's done, it's like, all right, everybody out.
yeah.
Let's see. The latest installment of Mana series, Visions of Mana, finally released yesterday, and it's been reported that developer Oka Studios has lost most of its staff, the risk of shutting down altogether. It comes to a report from Bloomberg's Takashi Mochizuki, who claims that according to the sources familiar with the situation, Oka Studios owner NetEase has cut most jobs at the studios, leaving only a few behind.
Okay, so
NetEase, that sounds familiar.
They're a Chinese mobile game company, but they're big. Like they've got a lot of money.
Is it like Tencent big?
Yeah, it's like they're one of those.
They're like the smaller rival of Tencent. So it's like, yeah, it's like I really, because in the business sense, I kind of agree with them. If they like, you can't really, as someone who's covering JRPGs in my main channel, it's like, it's really hard if you really want their games to go ultra mainstream in terms of numbers and performance. That's just not how JRPGs work. Like the best we got is Final Fantasy, the mainline Final Fantasy games,
which is getting less and less like a JRPG with every installment.
Yeah. Exactly right. So it's like, yeah, I can see where they're coming from. Like, if they want to invest in these companies, like they should really level their expectations in terms of performance and growth. So it's just that the numbers weren't there for these Japanese game devs. So I can see why they're divesting their initial investments or they're backing out.
Yeah. Mark, are you a purist? Like, would you prefer like turn-based?
No, I don't want. I mean, yes and no. So, like, I think Final Fantasy really should try at least one mainline entry where it's like, hey, why don't we do a really good, engaging turn-based system? Because those have been happening. Even Square's been making them. Like, Octopath Traveler 2 has a really cool turn-based battle system that I think if they did something like that and just called it Final Fantasy and probably, I don't know, spent like $500 million on it and made it really pretty, because that's what Final Fantasy is now, apparently. I think people would like it way more than they think they would. I think it's the same reason people ended up liking Baldur's Gate 3 more than they thought they'd like a CRPG. But, you know, when you make a good one, people kind of end up liking it a lot. I think, though, that Square has been under the impression for quite some time that the West and making games specifically for the West is going to be what'll make them money. And I think that they're kind of learning that that's becoming less and less true. I think we probably still got a few action Final Fantasies in us before they ever try to like turn things around. But turn things around as far as like gameplay style. I'm not saying that like they're like making money. For all I know, the turn-based one would bomb. But you know what I mean? Like they just hired the guy who, oh god, Atase, I think is the guy's name, the combat designer of Devil May Cry 4 and 5 that did Final Fantasy 16's combat as well. He apparently left Capcom officially and is now like only working at Square Enix. So I'm willing to bet Final Fantasy 17 is probably going to be involving him, which means it's likely going to be another action game. But I think that 16 had a really good story, but I don't think it was a particularly strong third-person action game. And
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
the performance was so bad. Like I
Yeah.
really hated how that game ran. And honestly, I played the demo of the PC version, and it's a little on the wonky side too. You can fiddle around with it. At least on my computer, I can get it to a pretty clean 60. But every time, what's really jarring is it cuts to cinematics, and the cinematics are all 30 FPS. There's no option to unlock it, and the frame rate chugs down gradually when you're entering gameplay. So it'll be like cinematic 30 FPS, and then it'll be like 40 FPS, 45, and then like kind of cranking up to 60 in the gameplay. And it's very jarring. And I'm like, I feel like someone just needs to make a mod that just lets like the cinematics be real time rendered as well. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like they've got some tech things that I really think they need to sort out. And I think that doing the more Sega style route with like Persona of just, hey, let's have it be an art style that's easy to do, cheaper, and turn-based combat that turns out people like Persona a lot, right? And even Yakuza is turn-based now too, though that's kind of more of a graphics game, not quite as much as Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy like in general, like the remakes and 16, but Infinite Wealth looks pretty damn good though. It's a very pretty game.
Now, speaking of Final Fantasy, I know this is like a sort of like a side thing, but Final Fantasy 16 is officially on PlayStation Plus.
Oh,
So if-
but
Yes.
it's that's strange. They never announced it. Like,
Yeah,
they
it was like a
low-key.
stealth release.
Yeah, low key, it was just there. It's like,
Yeah. But all right. It's pretty crazy though. Let's see. Reportedly, these remaining few will oversee the studio's final games before it winds down for good. As NetEase apparently plans to shut Oka. Oh, so they're actually shutting it down after all the games are out. It's claimed that this comes as both NetEase and Tencent are considering scaling back their investments in Japanese studios following a lack of successful games amid a comeback for the Chinese market. There it is. And the fact that we have Black Myth Wukong that's doing really well right now.
They mentioned that in this article. So they're looking for investments locally now that does, stuff like Black Myth Wukong. So they'll be pushing more of that, which I think is a good thing. Like let Japanese devs be Japanese and let China, do their own thing too.
Yeah, push Chinese game development in a way that will actually advance it, and let Japan be Japan. Like let them make their games.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Mochizuki adds on Twitter that the situation in Oka hasn't happened overnight, as reportedly NetEase has been making staff cuts at the studio since at least the spring. Neither the studio nor its owner have released a public statement about this. However, with the latter telling Bloomberg that it had nothing to announce about the matter. If this is accurate, then it is a huge shock. Oka only opened its doors in 2020, and Visions of Mana has been one of the most hyped up action RPGs of the year. It's worth noting that the critic responses to it have been somewhat mixed. In our own Visions of Mana review, we gave it a 2.5 stars out of 5, although its average scores on Metacritic is currently generally sitting at a positive 76. Even so, if it's true that NetEase has been making cuts at Oka for some time, then you wouldn't think that this reception could have anything to do with the situation at the studio. Yeah, I believe it's just, I think the fact that I think Black Myth Wukong is a huge thing.
Yeah, it came out at the wrong time too. It's like the art style's quirky and bright. Like I think I'm kind of digging it, but the gameplay, it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's kind of mid, in my opinion, when I tried the demo.
For Visions of Mana?
Yeah, so it's like I was originally planning to make my comprehensive review for it, but it's like nah, I'm not feeling it. So maybe I just backed out. And yeah, I think a lot of people felt the same way. I think what the positive reviews is more of people who are into the Mana series and they haven't received the game for a really long time. I think
JRPG is quite a commitment too. It's generally a fair amount of hours.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I take too much time in releasing a video for that channel. I take forever to release a new video for that.
You need to finish the Chrono Trigger one, man.
Yeah, I'm on vacation next week, so I have plenty of time to write it. So I should be finished within the next 2 weeks.
Chained Echoes is another one I'd strongly recommend if you haven't played it.
That was like I got soft lock because like the one boss was too strong, and one of the
it's pretty hard.
It's like they're like the key feature of Chained Echoes, like you shouldn't have to grind, but technically you kind of have to.
Well, I find it's not so much you gotta grind, or at least the place I'm at right now. I'm basically at the hey, we need to go into the thing and fight the boss and end the game. And I just keep on getting totally worked when I go in there. And I think what it is I have to find new like mech parts, and so it's like it's not so much grinding, but it's like but you might have to fight some pretty hard bosses to get through some areas to get items that'll make you stronger.
Kind of counterintuitive. I ended up like pausing, and I never went back.
Great story in that one, though. I strongly recommend Chained Echoes to everybody.
Oh, man, I Chained Echoes. There's so many games I haven't played yet. Like I said, I where I stopped in Nier Automata was after I have to go back to talk to that sentient robot.
Wait, did you even get ending A?
No, I didn't get any ending yet. I didn't beat the game yet.
Oh boy,
lame. Yeah,
well,
he hasn't even reached the big halfway point. The big.
Like, I was about to say, like the end. Like it's not so much you beat the game and then you need to beat it more times. It's like that you have to beat it like 3 times to actually finish it.
Yeah, and Phil hasn't reached that big shocker point where he's probably gonna get so heartbroken.
You have to play through 3 routes. Is probably the best way to describe it.
So so where I am right now, I just unlocked fast travel.
Oh, a long way to go.
Are you at like the beginning of the game?
Yeah, long way to go, dude.
So you just haven't played it, really?
Yeah. The funny part is he got. Have you played Replicant, Mark? Because like he got mad
not
at
all
the
of
Earth.
it, no. But I think I might be further in Replicant than Phillip is in Automata.
Oh, I got to the what's it called? There's like a maze in the sand area. I'm like, this puzzles are stupid, and I'm like, I just rage quit.
Yeah, is this in Replicant or Automata? Because I feel like that's in
Replicant.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, because I feel like I'm around there actually. I'm 10 hours in. I just like.
I did get one of the endings in Nier Automata.
Okay, so you finished Route A, so you're now playing.
No. The one I got was I self-destructed so I could see her butt cheeks on the space station, and then it ended the game.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Rocky. This is a good puppy right here. He's a good boy.
Yeah, it's cute, very cute. Oh man. I'm so surprised they're already working on Incredibles 3. I thought that the movie wouldn't come out until 2045, considering that took them a long time for the second one. The second one should have came out like 3 years later, in my opinion.
I still haven't seen the second one.
The second one, there are some good moments, but it's very. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's like Helen basically takes charge. She's like, hey, Bob.
I just didn't hear many good things about it, and I really like the Incredibles. So
Incredibles 1, I think, is perfect. Incredibles 2 is like Bob stays home. Helen basically goes out and does all the stuff. And then Jack officially like reveals the powers to the family. And there's like some funny parts, but overall, it's like I wish the movie came out like a couple years later. It's okay. The first one was really, really good. It's the best Fantastic Four movie of all time. It's really
What do you think about that, Rocky? I think he likes it.
Yeah. We have X-Wing hanging out in the chat. What's going on, X-Wing? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. And again, 6 months, baby girl. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Nice.
I'm okay with both. Baldur's Gate 3 had turn-based elements. I mean,
it's a turn-based game.
I've never played any tabletop or CRPG kind of game. Like that's my first one ever, and it was so good.
You ever played Knights of the Old Republic?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. There's more real-time elements to Knights of the Old Republic's combat, but because it's less hard turn-based and more you can pause and then add commands over the few turns, but the turns happen automatically.
I also strongly recommend Dragon Age Origins, not this latest one, the very first one.
Yeah, Origins is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man,
there is one Dragon Age game.
So many good games, man.
Yeah.
See, optimization is really an issue with today's games. Yes, that's why I remember when Black Myth Wukong, I bought it originally for PC, and like I kept crashing after the prologue. I kept crashing multiple times, and I heard that it was a optimization with this 13th or 14th generation of Intel processors.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I have an AMD. I was like, oh, I didn't have any issues like that. And I've
Yeah,
not
so-
played much of Black Myth Wukong though. Eggrolls is the only one who has it, so I can't play it while she's using Steam.
Yeah, it's like I'm currently stuck with the Tiger Vanguard, but I haven't really tried very hard. I took down the Stone Vanguard because like so you can get the armor with higher defense before you fight the Tiger Vanguard. So I'm trying to beat the Tiger Vanguard. I'm getting close.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Let's see. All right, let's continue going down. Let's say, yeah, Automata has lots of endings. Yes, and I guess I got.
It has 4 really.
Yeah, a lot of it are meme endings like the one Phil got.
That's the best ending. It was
My
worth
house
it.
was talking to me.
It's like I remember when eventually like it blew up, and then I got to see her butt cheeks for like that split second, and I was like, that was worth it. That was worth it too.
She's
Kill
honestly one of the
everyone.
best characters in Soul Calibur 6. She's like ultra powerful in that game.
Yeah, I remember people
You
were
guys
like
did a
trying to do
YouTube
like
model,
character
too.
creations of her before she was announced already.
Yeah, I can see
Remember
that happening. I mean, realistically, if you put a bob cut on like white hair, and if there's any blindfold option, you're most of the way there. Or even just a
Yeah.
mask, like a domino mask.
See, what are your guys' thoughts on RDJ playing Doctor Doom?
I've got thoughts.
All right, Mark, what do you think?
I think that it will be probably okay if they do it this way and this way only. Don't do multiverse bullshit. Just make it so that he's got like Colin Farrell and the Batman level prosthetics on his face so that he doesn't look like the same guy. Have him speak with an accent, give him an origin scene, and then never take that mask off him ever again. It's just you have, like have a Robert Downey Jr.'s face in one thing, and then he's just a voice from there on out, which will mean no matter how old he gets, he can probably still be doing that. And yeah, and then they also have him on the payroll basically, so that if they ever want to do like a flashback with Tony, they can just get him to come in and be Tony Stark. And I think from that perspective, it's a good idea. I think they're probably going to do multiverse bullshit, and it's going to end up being kind of dumb. And but hey, you know, I mean, it looks like they're making some moves that show they're trying. Like they got the Russo brothers back, and they basically fired Michael Waldron, who's the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness and was going to be writing the next 2 Avengers films.
Ooh, thank
and
God.
yeah, now he's out, and the guy who wrote Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame is like back in. So it's like, well, they're trying. So I feel like I should wait and see before I say it's gonna suck. But Marvel's not in a great spot, really.
But yeah, they paid Robert Downey Jr. alone $95 million. Like, whoa, holy shit. How much money do you have to make?
That might mean that they are desperate. Like it's like, well, we really need to start making some of this money back.
Yeah.
I can see them doing the thing where it's like you know how a lot of Hollywood actors and even like you know creatives in Hollywood or in the game industry they're afraid of AI. I think what they're going to do, they should embrace it. And let's like you said, Mark, like let's say Robert Downey Jr. he gets a little too old, he can't come back to continue playing that as long as you don't have his mask off, like you can continue using his voice. So what they're going to do is like get a sample of his voice and then just use that and create an AI voice. So where you know if he's dead.
I think they should avoid doing that at all costs, or at least put that off for as long as possible. But the thing is, right now, if you paid $95 million for him, and are probably going to pay him more with bonuses as he does other things, if he's just a voice, they can start putting Doctor Doom in a lot of stuff. Like it would not be difficult for Doctor Doom to be like an actual problem for most of the MCU, and it would be much easier for them to just have a stuntman play Doctor Doom in every single movie and just have Robert Downey Jr. do the voice, you know? Like I think that would be probably the best way for them to go about it, in which it wouldn't seem stupid, but most likely he's going to end up being evil Tony, who's like also Eastern European, I guess.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Let's see. Are you guys into looking into VR?
Both Eggroll and I have VR headsets. I've not had mine hooked up since I moved my stuff over to like the couch setup here, but Eggroll uses hers every day. She works out with Beat Saber.
Beat Saber looks fun though.
I made a couple of VR videos on Geeks and Gamers. I have one on Half-Life Alyx and one on Star Wars Squadrons, which you can play without VR, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't a believer of VR until I went to this thing. I forgot what it was called now, but it's basically it's VR, but you put on a suit and you're like you're hooked onto wires, and you're actually going through like a maze, but like mine was Star Wars, So like me and my
Did
wife.
you have a VR headset on?
Yes.
So it's one of those like VR, like real world arcades that you have like a laptop strapped to your back.
It was like a
backpack.
it was like a backpack, and it was like weighted. And then whenever you get shot, you feel it.
Well, the thing is, there's probably also a laptop in the backpack that's running the game.
Okay.
Or like a PC built into that thing. And yeah, I've never been to one of those, but I've heard they're pretty cool. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, they had like whenever we got shot by stormtroopers, for some reason they hit us. Like I felt it if they shot me on my rib, like I felt it. It was actually really cool. And like when you touch the walls, when you touch R2, you're touching like a real R2 in real life. So it's like a very cool thing. It's like an experience. I forgot what it was called already, but if we can have that moving forward, I know they're trying to do this whole like Ready Player One at your house thing, like with NVIDIA in the future. I'm not sure if that's going to be.
I think like the only way that's ever going to happen and work anything like people are thinking it's going to is if omnidirectional treadmills become a lot more common, and I think we might be a little while away from those being common household products.
Yeah.
But VR is in a good spot though as far as like the software goes. I think most of the thing holding it back is business stuff, because I think it's like, there's
it's very
a
expensive.
lot of it's expensive, and like all the different headsets have exclusive games. It's the stupidest thing in the world. It's like why would you make people that are interested in this medium be like, okay, do I want to play Resident Evil 4 remake in VR or the original Resident Evil 4 in VR? Because those are exclusive to two different headsets, because Capcom is insane. I was like, why are you guys doing this? Just put everything on everything for VR. He doesn't have enough players, but Half-Life Alyx is great. Strongly recommended. Beat Saber is a lot of fun too. And Star Wars Squadrons, not bad. Terrible story, written by Mitch Dyer.
What's it called? Which one is the one? Yeah, I think VR. I think it was the PlayStation VR. I forgot which one it was, where they came out with a RE4 one, and it's like when you're reloading, you actually physically need to reload your gun.
I'm not sure which. If it's already out, that's probably the Quest one. That's the original Resident Evil 4, like the GameCube game. The remake is going to be PSVR exclusive. It might already be out too. I'm not sure, but
I think everything should just be, it shouldn't be console exclusive. I think every console get it.
Especially with the VR2, with Sony did VR2. It's like you cannot play VR1 games on it. It's like
I know. It's like
freaking why.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I think they went with a very different type of tracking technology for it. Like with the PSVR 1, it was that. It's similar to how the PlayStation Move worked. In fact, it was like the same controllers, where the camera is like, if you look at my hand, seeing how big those dots are on the blue dot controller and the red dot controller. And that's what's tracking Z-axis movement, right? Like the distance. But the new one, like the PSVR 2, I think has much more similar to like the Oculus and Valve Index tracking systems, where it's just gyroscopes and everything that's moving it there. And I think it's an inside out tracking wait, do you need a camera for PSVR 2? I don't know. I don't have one. So I think it might be an inside out tracking technology, just like the Quest is, but meaning you don't need sensors. Whereas my Index has like sensors that I have up like in the wall that give me a box to play in. But there's different ways to go about the technology, but I just think like they should just have everything be compatible with things the way the Microsoft mixed reality, like Windows WMR headsets, like all of those that were made by like HP and like Lenovo and like the companies that you don't really think of as like video game hardware developers. They just make these lower end VR headsets, but like Steam at least was smart enough to be like, if you have one of those headsets, you can play all the Steam games. Even if you want to like buy our controllers, you can use our controllers, and Steam VR is still something you can use. But I don't know, VR is like it's always going to be a bit of a jump for people to have to put something on their face to play a video game. Yeah. So I don't think it'll ever really take off in the mainstream the way a lot of, I think, not studios so much as manufacturers want it to, until it's like a set of glasses, like, or maybe with blinders on it, like, so that it's still like your field of view control. But it really needs to be the kind of thing that it's light, you can put it on your face and you can tilt it up almost to like talk to people in the real world if you need to. Because I think people don't like putting a scuba mask on their face for the most part.
Yeah, like
but I mean, there's a lot of good experiences in VR. Still worth checking out.
It's like seeing people walking around with like Apple Vision. You're like, what are you doing?
It's like, come on.
Let's see. Ogami Girl says
the guinea pigs for this type of tech.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're definitely the guinea pigs. Ogami Girl says, after beating the big head, I'm just unmotivated to keep playing Wukong.
I replied to that. It's like because like I don't have the adrenaline energy every day anymore to keep fighting boss after boss after boss. That's why I'm kind of gonna be. I feel like I'm gonna be very slow in
I
finishing
heard that.
Black
I
Myth.
heard Wukong's not all that difficult though. Like, am
It's
I wrong about that?
it's it has the Souls like it's not a full Souls like I would say it's more like God of War, but with a little bit of Souls.
It's
Like
in
you,
between Stellar Blade and a Souls game. That's what I feel. Like
yeah,
Oh, okay, so a
But
little
once
harder
you
than
get-
Stellar Blade then.
once you get stronger, like you can easily one shot the bosses if you do New Game Plus. I heard, but I'm still at the point where I'm still at my first run, so I'm still
Oh,
a
fair enough.
weak ass character.
I played like an hour of it. I've
Okay.
got very little experience in it. 42 minutes actually. I just looked it up.
So in the Wandering White for me is the hardest boss in chapter 1. And you can actually run by him. You don't actually need to fight him. But the thing is that he is your first spirit. Like for people who are having like for me, it took me about like maybe an hour to beat him. I was there. I fought him first, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look around to see like if I this fight I can make this fight easier. And I fought the wolf, Guangxi, and I was able to get the first transformation, the fire transformation, and then what you want to do is transform into him first when you engage the boss. Is because that has its own cooldown timer. It doesn't go off your mana or anything.
Yeah. It's like I noticed that too. It's like, the game highly encourages you to face particular bosses first before this particular next one, because like you
Yeah.
can easily accidentally skip the in between boss, then you end up
Yeah.
having a harder time with this later boss. So it's
Yeah.
recommended you go back first, kill the quote unquote easier boss, and get stronger, get better equipment, then fight the later boss again.
Yeah, I'm in. I just got to chapter 5, so like I have like one more chapter and I'm done. But I will be playing New Game Plus though. So, but yeah, it's the first part. The first boss is he's not really a boss, but like he's an optional boss. But he's a little annoying. But let's see. All right. See, Tweetone says, Mark, please come back to Geeks and Gamers and factually prove to Jeremy how bad Nintendo hardware is. Right. I love to see
I just
that
had a pretty
fight
heated
crumble
debate
with
on
PC facts on hardware.
yeah, I just had a big debate on side scrollers about console exclusivity, and the chat kind of tore me apart, but I'm right. So
Like I understand, like I understand why Nintendo is doing it, because Nintendo is going to be Nintendo, but the other ones, like the console exclusivity, only PS5 Stellar Blade, like why did you do that? Like why doesn't Xbox have it? It's like, I know you're coming out with it later. They get more money for timed exclusive, like same thing with Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth. Like I get it, but like,
well, even with Black Myth Wukong, apparently,
Yeah.
at least, although that's not really been confirmed, it's being looked at. But when places like IGN are publishing it, it's probably true, because they're not going to rock the boat if they can at all avoid it. So I was actually kind of surprised that they went out and said that Sony had apparently paid for Black Myth to not be PlayStation exclusive because it's on PC, but just to not be on Xbox right away.
Yeah, it's
and
sorta
like
fucked
the
up.
part that weirds me out about that, I was like, is there that many people that are like debating between the Xbox and PS5 version of Black Myth Wukong? Like, are you losing sales by having it on Xbox? I kind of don't think they would be. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah.
All right. We have a couple more topics to go, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you so much, Mark, for staying this late. I know you
no
are
problem.
3 hours ahead.
it's okay. I'm not a
So,
puppy.
but we'll chug through a couple more. But yes, if you guys haven't already done so, follow Mark. His link tree is pinned in the comments and is down in the descriptions. Go ahead and follow
I
him
got my
everywhere.
first sponsor at the bottom there.
Oh, let's go! Like we haven't gotten
an
nice.
affiliate link. Like it's like an affiliate link, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I actually have the product and it's not bad, but I won't plug it here.
All right, no, all right, that's cool. All right, here we go. This comes to us from Fandom Wire, right over here. Concord is inarguably PlayStation's biggest failure after sales estimates come to light. So I guess we know how many sales, how many units Concord sold. So Concord is one of the worst failures in PlayStation history, according to the new sales numbers that have emerged. Concord, which initially received a rather lukewarm reception at the last State of Play, failed to capture players' attentions, and the numbers likely continue to alarm Sony. According to Marcus Analyst, this game from Firewalk Studios barely sold 25,000 copies on
Ouch.
the PS5. Wow.
That's
Positioning
really bad.
I mean, I think if they were all playing at the same time, it would look pretty good for Concord's numbers compared to what it's doing on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it makes me wonder, is like, what are the Steam numbers if those are the PlayStation numbers?
Yeah, let's see. The live service game landscape is becoming increasingly competitive and saturated with similar kinds of IP, and titles that lack sufficient originality end up destined to fail. Yeah, the thing is, it's this type of game. It's sort of like it's not really that hot anymore, right? Like the Overwatch style, like hero 6v6, 5v5 first person shooter is not really that great anymore. I don't, and the thing is that we all know why Overwatch did really well, and I say this all the time. The R34 carried it so hard, right? And the thing is that are there actually hot characters in this game that can carry it, right? Like, because Grae, you said that the gameplay looks okay. It doesn't look awful, right? So
yeah, but it's so competitive, and you slapped in a $40 price tag. So yeah, you're really setting it up for defeat when you have your competitors with a much higher fan base. It's free to play, and then yeah, it's probably better gameplay wise too. So yeah, you're not setting yourself up for success given that hyper competitive nature of the games industry.
Yeah, and this is a live service game too. So it's going to be like seasons, battle passes, whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty awful. It's the hero shooter surprise with a cinematic trailer that seemed to offer a group of fairly intriguing characters. Regrettably, the initial gameplay revealed itself as a mere Overwatch clone, dispelling all the excitement. Players expressed their disinterest in playing Concord, generating a plethora of negative comments. To make matters worse, it was going to be a paid, so the hype, it's going to be a paid game, so the hype is non-existent. Yeah. And the thing is, like I said, 25,000 is not a lot. And like I said, Rule 34 carries a lot. I probably shouldn't show it, but I have Rule 34 opened up right now. Concord has 16 posts for Rule 34. So it's not a lot. And the fact that if I type in Black Myth Wukong, Black Myth Wukong has 61. They both came out relative to the same time. So, in my opinion, this game is not going to do it. And the thing is, hot characters, whether you like it or not, sells games. Sex sells. And these character designs aren't really that great, in my opinion. So, yeah. Now, if they had characters that are good looking, maybe it could have done a lot better, because that's usually what drives a lot of people in. Like, that's what prompted me to buy what's it called again? Stellar Blade. Mark, have you tried this game yet? I believe it was like on beta, and it's like $40, right?
Concord?
Yeah.
No, I've not played Concord. It just didn't look very interesting to me at all.
Yeah.
But
what about you? Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
What about you, Grae? Are you going to play it?
Nah.
Yeah.
Unless someone gifts it. I don't have access to the Steam version.
Because, yes.
Sony being cucks and all that with the PC. So yeah, and no way I'm buying it for PS5, which is often more expensive than the PC counterparts.
Yeah. Like I said, Concord has 16 posts on R34. Overwatch has 111,000 on R34. And I looked at the Concord ones, and they're not great. All right. The Concord Rule 34s are not great. All right. Wait, chat saying I have this as my default browser? No, I don't. I do not have R34 as my I do not have it bookmarked. All right. But yeah, I think that the fact that this game is not good looking. Now, based on the opposite spectrum, we have the First Descendant. A new character just came out. I believe that character's name is Haley.
Yeah.
This is how the character looks like.
I might get her.
Right?
I started First Descendant again. So like, yeah, very interesting looking character.
Just quite the butt.
Yeah, it's damn. Like the thing is that like that's what drew me to play this game as well, the First Descendants, because the characters actually look cool. I want to play cool characters. And if I want to cosplay a character, I want to cosplay a cool character. I don't want to cosplay a character that's ugly or fat. It's just, like, are you going to have like, are any characters are going to cosplay I don't know, like Roadhog. But Roadhog is a very cool character though, right? But like, this is insane, man. It's like, look at this character. Look at this character. I'm not sure if this is real, but
I
if
think
it
that's
is,
edited. I don't know if that's an actual
I don't think this chess area is real. I think this is fake.
Yeah. That's edited.
But I can see them doing this. That's the thing. I can see them doing this. But the thing is that Concord, on the other hand, does not have attractive characters. It looks very expensive, and it took them 6 years to make or something like that. And you're, like I said, you're in a game area where it's saturated with the same style of game, and it's just like an Overwatch clone. It's like, who's gonna play games like this? And let's go ahead and check out the Concord. Concord. There it is. We have 107 people playing the game right now, and this game has less players all-time peak than Gollum.
Lord
has
of Ring Gollum.
Yeah, like Gollum. Lord of the Ring Gollum has 3 players right now. Has 758 all-time. And like Grae said, Gollum cost $70 when it released. So, man.
And I don't think Gollum is costing the company huge amounts of maintenance costs compared to Concord. There's that too.
Yeah. But I don't think I'm going to play any of this game. Mark and Grae, you guys aren't going to play this game. So,
yeah. I mean, even from the first trailer, it's just like this seems like Temu Guardians of the Galaxy and plus
yes,
Overwatch. Like, I mean, I don't see what's engaging about like any of this. It looks like slow as all hell for a competitive shooter. Like, that seems to be kill based primarily, like at least from what I've seen.
Yeah. Oh man, it's sad because a lot of people, like I said, like I think the cinematic, the opening cinematic or the trailer that we saw, it looked very expensive.
Yeah, it looked expensive and not good. It looked like bargain bin Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, I can see you're really trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy, but you have none of the characters we like from that, and all of these characters look sort of cringe. Like,
yep. Oh man, that sucks though. It's in my opinion, I just blame it on the developers, like thinking that this type of game would have been good. Like you could have like woke characters, but if you have like great gameplay, woke characters wouldn't ruin your game. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like Overwatch, but Overwatch had good gameplay, and they have hot characters. They also have woke elements in there too. But overall, the game was playable. Everyone enjoyed it. And it's like, but yeah, it doesn't look good at all. They wasted a lot of money for sure. Temu Guardians, that's actually very good. Yeah, Temu Guardians, that's actually is very, very accurate. But yeah,
what do you think about that, Rocky? Was that a good joke?
It's a very good joke.
Puppy.
Oh man. Let's see. But yeah, so that one is edited. I'm sad. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's edited. Yeah, just JK plays it for the First Ascendant. So that one's edited. Oh, that makes me sad then. It makes me sad.
I mean, I guess you got to say, like, when a female character is making me like, oh, should I try First Ascendant? I was like, no, I don't have the time for it. Like, so I was like, well, why would it? I was like, that shouldn't even be occurring to me. But at the same time, it's like, well, that is a pretty nice butt.
Yeah, right. It's like it gives you the interest, and then like, let's say if the game is also good, like Stellar Blade, it's like, okay, then it's a win-win for me, right?
Yeah, I think Stellar Blade you need more of an interest in. First Ascendant's got the advantage of being free to play, so it is like, well, I mean, I could try it. Like it's like that might actually work.
Yeah. Mark prefers the Asian bust.
Yeah, I married into that life.
See, did you know they're making a live action TMNT rated R movie?
I don't know whether or not to be excited about it. I guess the R-rated TMNT movie sounds like an interesting idea, but it's like, who's behind it? I need more information.
Yeah. Is it still Michael Bay?
Or is it still Seth Rogen? Like,
oh yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 did have woke elements, but it was not the main focus of the game. Yeah, it's not, right?
See, at no point did it ever say, hey, you're in modern day California right now. You were always just still in the fantasy world. Like there was nothing that was a direct correlation to things going on in the real world, or if there was, it wasn't heavy-handed enough for me to really notice. I was just engaged in the political struggles of the different factions in like the Dungeons and Dragons world, I guess, more so than referencing things that are happening in our reality.
Yeah. You just got Rough Night says rookie numbers. Come on, gang. Let's get those R34 numbers up. At Madam Savvy. I don't think she watches us, but yeah. It's the Concord doesn't have a lot, and I think I actually checked Dustborne too. Dustborne doesn't have a lot either of R34, because usually like immediately you'll have some kind of like adult content for it, but the fact that Concord doesn't have a lot means that there's not a lot of attractive characters in that game. But yeah, go Ninja, go. Yeah, I made another funny. Oh man, that's a good movie. It's a good movie. All right, let's talk about our last topic here. Let's talk about some of these Black Myth Wukong stuff. Let's talk about some Black Myth Wukong stuff. So, have any of you guys heard about the controversy? I believe it might have been on like some kind of Steam forum or something like that. Or there's this person who was really upset on the forum saying that you should not have supported Black Myth Wukong.
What's their reason?
Same reason as all of them, is that the company is sexist and racist, and it's the same reason why diversity. There's not enough diversity.
I mean, racist is kind of funny when it's like, I mean, yeah, they're in China. Like they tend to not even just people who look totally different from them. They don't like other Asian people. Chinese people tend to be pretty much like, yeah, we're the best ones, so fuck all the rest of you. As far as sexist goes, isn't there like 30 guys on the team that made this game?
Yeah, most of them.
So it's like, was the whole sexism thing? It's like they didn't want to hire women. It's like they hardly hired anyone like at all for the most part, anyway. So it's like, why? Yeah. I don't understand why they would be thinking, oh, not enough women develop this game. It's like, dude, this is like a small team.
Yeah, and this is their first. Yeah, and this is their first like AAA style game, and using Unreal 5. It's like, this is pretty damn good for their first attempt.
Yeah.
All right. So here's this post right over here. You should not have supported this game. Before you fly off the handle and call me woke, hear me out first, okay? There are groups of people out there who have been marginalized for centuries, and we live in a time in which past wrongs can finally be righted. It's baffling to me that you can play a game knowing that not only are the devs proven sexists, but they also refuse to include a single iota of diversity in the game. What would hurt it to have a person of intersex traits in the game? Why would it be a bad thing to have a single POC in it? Just one. It's just the first paragraph. When they say diversity, I think most of the time they're not like. This is an Asian mythology that came out in the 1600s.
I'm getting parody from this too. I think this person knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they're trying to like rage, like get people to
Why
get
would
upset.
they lead with intersex person? Come on. That's like I don't think if you're trying to make a serious case as to why there needs to be more diversity in this adaptation of Journey to the West, like I feel like you wouldn't lead with intersex if you were trying to make a serious argument, right? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. I'm smelling bullshit on this one.
You see, a single one, they could be in it for like 5 seconds and it wouldn't hurt you, would it? Don't you think it would make their day to have someone like them for once? Who is really the snowflake? If that doesn't, if that would bother you, they don't even have to be the main character. It's just crazy to me that anyone would support a game that's leaning so far right on purpose. It's like none of you even know anything about it and just bought it because some World of Warcraft YouTuber told you to. You should do more research before making such an expensive purchase. Are they talking about Asmongold?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this person's fucking around.
Like this has to be a troll, man. Like no way.
Yeah.
Oh man. Instead, you're actively marginalizing people who don't deserve it. That's all I'm saying. I know people will read this and say they don't care, but you should put yourself in their shoes for once. A little empathy is all you need. You don't even have to agree with them. Just realize that people feel less alone when they see themselves in their entertainment. It's just sad that you would purposely be against that. Edit. Please just engage like civil people. The awards won't. Don't further your case. Just because you give someone a clown doesn't mean they're wrong.
Yeah, this one probably got a lot of clowns, didn't it?
Yeah,
Dude, scroll up to the top.
I know there's gonna be a version 2 of this that he renames the headline. Is that the next image?
No, the
It's
next
probably gonna
image
have something like 999 clowns.
So-
yeah.
So there are people who are actually like DMing this person and adding them as a friend to talk to them, right, to see if it's true. So right over here, Alan responds to just the person who wrote that. It's like, why do you people keep adding me? This person says, I want to have a general discussion on your review of Black Myth Wukong since I'm a person of color, people of color, Asian, are we considering people from China or Asia non-POC due to the fact that they're a large population compared to the rest of the world? A POC Asian? I'm not sure what you're getting at. What did you want to say? You agreed on your post about Black Myth Wukong going towards the right with no person of color characters. Yes. Do you have a counter argument or something? Yeah, we considering Chinese people in the game as non-persons of color. And Alan says, Asians are practically whites.
I still think this person's a troll. Like I like still like none of this is evidence that this person is doing anything other than trying to get people pissed.
Yeah, like the thing is that it's so crazy that it seems like a troll, but I know people who are like this.
Maybe sure. I don't think this person's speaking the way they do. I think they're doing too good a job at making the people pissed off. Like he's drawing things out of them and then ending it with Asians are practically white. Like it's so nuts that I don't believe it's serious.
What do you think, Grae? Do you think this person's a troll? Or you think this person is real?
Nah, I kind of agree with you. It's like this is like that's how deep they are in this shit. Like that's really who they are. And I'm pretty sure this is the same article. There's another one like he renamed the headline where he got 900 plus clown emojis already. He renamed the subject line.
Oh, really? Okay, that I didn't see. That's actually really funny, man. But yeah, the thing is, I think I know a lot of people are saying that this is CCP propaganda game is because you can't talk about COVID-19. You can't talk about the Chinese government. You can't talk about anything that that makes them look bad or whatever. I'm like, it's in order for you to get a free a code for the game.
I don't know, as far as embargo terms, like saying keep your review away from Chinese politics and on the game if we're going to give you a code to review the game with, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like embargoes like that in general, like where they say, hey, here's things you need to say and not say. But if you're doing the access media, we're going to bow to what the corporation wants us to do. That's pretty reasonable. So like I would be much more pissed off if they did the Cyberpunk thing where they didn't let people use their own footage. Use canned footage only that CD Projekt sends you. I'd be like, no, fuck you. I'm not taking the free copy. I'm going to review it when it comes out.
Yeah. And then there's an article over here that also talks about more Black Myth Wukong. So it's the headline reads, this is from Inverse. The headline reads, Black Myth Wukong isn't even good, but that won't stop Chinese nationalists and anti-woke sales. So in short, basically they're saying that the reason why this game has, let's see, how many players does this game have right now? Currently, Black Myth Wukong has 980,000 people in game, and our 24-hour peak was at 1.4 million. And the reason why they're saying that, the reason why the numbers are so high is because the Chinese nationalists and I guess the gamer gators came together and colluded to make sure that this game did really, really well.
Yeah, because all the gamer gators are so on board with the Chinese Communist Party. That makes a ton of sense.
Oh man, dude! Like for me, like I think this is so funny. Is because I think over like this, like if we're not including what's it called again? Elden Ring DLC as its own game, because do DLC count as a game in itself, right? I would say this is contender for Game of the Year, at least for me.
I haven't played enough to say it yet.
I sent an updated link in the chat if you want to see the updated post and the rename.
Oh, I see now, right over here. So going back to that article, that thing over here. Wow, 900 clowns, Jester. Buy the game if you want. I don't know anymore. So they changed it. Oh,
Yeah,
there's an
just
edit.
Edit 2
I
and edit
still
3.
think that's a troll. Like, I mean, that's what you would change it to if you were trying to be funny.
Okay, having an opinion isn't against the rules. Edit 3. I was wrong about the translation and maybe wrong about other things too. I just need time to think right now. Change the title to reflect that change. I'm convinced the devs just wanted to avoid controversy as a whole. I still believe representation is important, but I'm no longer convinced that forcing it is the right way to go about it. You all have made that very clear. I apologize to any Asians I may have offended. I didn't mean to be so dismissive, and I've been dressed down by an Asian friend of mine in person. I don't know what else to say.
This is totally a troll.
Oh my god, man!
My
This is
Asian
so
friend was
funny.
like, "Hey, buddy, I saw your Steam post."
Oh man, but yeah, I think, I think these people, if this is a troll, it's hilarious and it's well done. It's because they got a lot of
I do
attention.
think it's funny. I wasn't trying to denigrate it by calling it a troll. I just think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's funny. It's actually funny.
Wow. But yeah, but overall, I think the game is good, and I think people are just mad that a game that's doing really, really well does not have what they want in the game, right? They don't have anything about LGBTQ. They don't have a black person because this is from China, and they're saying that the game is.
It should just be as simple as like, yo, this is an adaptation of a novel that's like 500 years old. Okay, like just why do we need to add any kind of characters into it or things? Like maybe throw some bosses, I guess, because it's an action game, but. I don't understand how people could say, oh my god, like the writers of this game were so anything. Because it's like, well, they're adapting kind of one of the most classic pieces of Chinese literature in existence.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a small book that no one's heard of. But yeah I don't know.
There's the thing is that there's a Screen Rant article saying that the game is not diverse, and one of the paragraphs even said that, oh, I'm in chapter 2 right now, and I've been playing the game for 4 hours, and I have not bumped into any female characters. I'm like, wow, if you've been in chapter, like the thing is that, like, did you not play the entire game? It's like,
I mean, I guess not, and I haven't played more than 42 minutes, but I've seen enough pictures of female characters in this game that I know they're there.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, like one of them is this the spider lady, right? The spider lady over here is one of the daughters. I think she's and the thing is, all the females in this game they're actually quite attractive, and but the thing is that why are American developers making their female characters like extremely unattractive, right? There's a post, I believe it's on X, and it is the Black Myth Wukong female characters, and it shows them side by side to their how would you say that, their models, their face models,
they're
right? And they all look really, really good. Let me see if I can find an image. Right here it is. Here's an image right over here, right? They all look like them. They look really good.
Mhm.
And then you have the American one. It's like Humberly Gonzalez, Kay Vess. You got Stephanie Taylor Jones, Mary Jane for Spider-Man 2, Hannah from Aloy, and then Alex Zedra in Modern Warfare. It's just like they all look not good. And why are the Eastern developers better? Right? Why are they better? It's because I think that they try to show that femininity and being beautiful is okay, right? And you even have the spider lady I showed earlier. Her face model actually did cosplay that herself.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, this is actually pretty neat. Like, this is pretty damn cool. And like I said, like, nobody wants to cosplay an ugly fat character, right? Unless you're doing it for memes or anything like that. And look, like she looks mixed, actually. She doesn't look full Chinese, but yeah, she looks great. Yeah. Overall, I think that that post was extremely funny, and I wanted to share. And it could be a troll now. You can space off so many edits. But
Yeah, no, like it's just again, like the giveaway for me was coming right out and being like, "There's not a single intersex character in this game." It's like name 5 games that have one intersex character. It's like that would not be the first argument you'd use.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. But man, so Mark, you said that you've only played about 45 minutes of the game. Based off of the 45 minutes of the game you've played so far, how are you enjoying it?
I mean, I think it looks like it's going to be a fun game, but again, 42 minutes on like an action game with a whole bunch of bosses where I fought one boss, I really like, I can't really say anything substantial about it yet. I just don't have enough time in.
Yeah, I think based off of the I know you're invincible in the intro prologue, but that prologue.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were. I wasn't getting hit all that much because you can do that. You have the stone stance thing that like it's like a parry, and I was using that to avoid most damage, and the clone thing that you have also just kind of makes it so that like you take the guy down pretty quick. I found.
Yeah. What about you, Grae? You enjoying the game so far?
Yeah, actually, yeah. How do you unlock those multiple clone ones? Which tree do I invest in?
You will get it. The headless guy will give it to you.
Okay, that's
explore more of chapter 2. You'll get after you beat a Tiger Vanguard, you get the stone.
Oh, I have to kill it first. Okay, that's why. Okay.
And then
Tiger Vanguard's really bitch.
Yeah, he's one of the like annoying boss fights in chapter 2. But the thing is that like there should be an armor set that you get that lets you pair if you do like I think your perfect dodges, like you get like bonus attack or something like that. There should be an armor like that for you. That's what I did. I ended up wearing that armor and I was able to beat him. But yeah, and make sure you take your medicines
got the armor. Too. Yeah, I beat the arm. I got the armor from a Stone Vanguard because I read a walkthrough. It's best to beat that one first so you have access to the new armor, the Gale armor. That's the one I'm using right now. Yeah.
Yeah. The game is really fun though. The game is really fun. All right. Let's go ahead and read the chat. Let's see what you guys are having to say. Not sure if there were any hermaphrodites in Journey to the West. Are characters that can transform into animals not inclusive enough? Nope. According to them, they're not inclusive. It's not diverse.
That's why I don't buy it. It's like that was a weird thing to suggest.
Yeah, it's like, are there characters with bonus holes? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. When I was in China, I was asked not to ask about Tiananmen Square. Yes, that's not even in. Sometimes if you ask the younger kids, do you know what Tiananmen Square is? They don't even know. It's because it's not in their history books. Yeah, keep your politics out of my games. Yes, I think leaving politics out of it is a good way to go. I know a lot of people are like, whoa, but Metal Gear Solid is all politics. I'm like, well, because that one is more leaning into that. But for something that's like a fantasy game, it's not going to be like that at all.
Yeah, you have to make sure that's really integrated well into your story, not forced from real life. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Let's see, Chinese nationalists, what does Taiwan have to do with Black River? God. Oh shit, man. What's going on, Keely Chow? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Yeah, something Wong here. Absolutely, that article is hilarious. I'm so offended. I'm going to eat some ice cream. Sounds good right now. I agree with hips to ass ratio. I'm just gonna say it. Western devs hate women. The current ones do. Like if you take a look at OG Blizzard, like they were like really cool, and then all the people that went in there are like the extremely woke folks that went in there. They're the one who changed everything up, like replacing a pinup shot with a bowl of fruit. Right.
I honestly do think the failure of Concord is going to make a lot of studios be like, look, maybe we should make some of these pretty.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is that it's not like they can't do it, right? Like look at Star Wars, the Survivors, the guy the actor looks like exactly like him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Same thing with Cyberpunk 2077. It looks like Idris Elba. And it looks like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Like that's always anytime I've ever heard people use the excuse, it's like, oh, it's just like it's really hard to make a character model that looks like exactly the same. That'll always look way different. And Like once you have it scanned, and I'm like, that hasn't been true since like PS3. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Jean Reno looked like Jean Reno in Onimusha 3, and that was on PS2. Like,
Absolutely. Let's see. Seth Hokage says, the rated R TMNT movie is called The Last Ronin. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I've heard about that comic.
That's the one with Raphael, right? He basically takes all the weapons of his brothers.
It's not Raphael, but
wait, it's not Raph? Who is it?
Just you maybe want to not know.
Oh, damn! I thought it would be Raph because
everyone does, and I think that's why.
All right, okay. When is that coming out? That sounds actually really cool.
I didn't even know they were making a movie of it. I'm just aware of the comic.
Okay, it's about a last surviving turtle seeking revenge on the one who's took out his family. It's supposed to be based off of a comic. No Michael Bay. Okay, if that's the case, that would be really freaking cool. Like, I would love to see that. Like, I want it to be violent too, if possible.
Yeah, the comic is.
All right, that's awesome. See, Metal Gear Solid games are very strawman about politics things. It's more about of a background in those games.
Yeah, it is. It's
okay.
Like, I mean, Metal Gear has its own political history that it like weaves in and out of ours, but most of the things we have in common with Metal Gear's history stopped in like the 80s. Like everything else has been different since then, and it tells its own story. It does do some interesting stuff with like looking at, I don't know, AI and content censoring and things like that in Metal Gear Solid 2 that are more true now than they were at the time when the game came out. But yeah, I've never found the politics in Metal Gear are just, I don't know, they're kind of like politics in any other like anime story, like as far as like this is how this structure is, this is how this world is structured, this is what the nuclear powers have done, this is the big robot that they are currently making, and whichever time period the game takes place in, just it's a story set there, and that's pretty much it.
Which one is the one that has Raiden in it?
2. That's 2 and 4.
Is this the one where you? Okay, so it's the guy with the samurai sword, right? Like, and he's like a mech samurai sword. Is that him?
So if he's a cyborg, then it's 4.
Okay, that one looks fun. Like, I've seen games of that one looks really.
Oh, you mean the one where you play as him? That's Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Yeah, that's a really good game.
Yeah, that one looks insane. Yeah, Revengeance. Yeah, that one looks really.
So
really
I thought
cool.
you were talking about the mainline games.
Okay, so this is not. It's just like a.
No, it's a spin-off, but it's good. It's Platinum. It's the same people who make Nier.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it makes sense because I see the combat and it looks pretty damn cool. Are you looking? Are any of you looking forward to Snake Eater?
Debatable. I mean, I don't trust modern Konami very much, so
yeah.
I hope they just do a pretty straight remake, and I think if they do, it'll end up being all right. But I don't know. I'm worried about what they might change and whether or not they're going to just rush it out also. Which is why I guess I kind of like that they haven't announced a release date, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how Silent Hill 2 remake goes before we get excited about Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
So it's basically after Kojima left, it's like everything sort of like sucked.
Well, I mean, this is like they've not made any new games really. They made basically a mod for Metal Gear Solid 5 called Metal Gear Solid Survive, I think, or Metal Gear Survive.
The zombie one.
Yeah, and that no one cared about that at all. And there's not been like another new Metal Gear game since. So Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, or Delta, I think is what they're calling it, is going to be the first new Metal Gear game in a very long time.
Okay.
But they really fucked up the ports of the Master Collection. Like they released like the laziest versions of the ROMs that you possibly could, and yeah, you can do better just kind of running them on your own, which I think sucks. So I don't know. It's like they're also kind of working on porting Metal Gear Solid 4 that's only ever existed on PS3, and I'm not confident they can do a good job. But you know, I like Metal Gear, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think the only one I've basically ever played was, and I played only a little bit, was the original on PS1. Yeah,
it's a great game.
That one's good. I remember there's a thing where, like, you know, when you're naked and you're basically doing like you're basically trying to sneak around, and you can only do flips, and he's like holding his crotch.
That's
like,
Metal Gear Solid 2, actually.
Oh, that's 2? Okay.
Yeah.
I know
that is Raiden you're playing as there, actually.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay, so I thought that was 1. I know there's a scene where, like,
there's a scene in the first one where you have your shirt off, and it's like when you're in prison, but yeah, that's the one where you have to, like, or one of the ways that you can get out of the cell is faking your own death by, like, spreading ketchup all over the ground and then going to the crawl position. So the guard comes in so you can break out.
I saw a video of you can actually like if you lie down as a Raiden in the second one, and since his crotch is blurred, right? And like if you lie down and you sort of crawl into a specific location, and you can actually zoom in and unblur his butthole.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was great, man. I mean, what? No, that sounded gay. No, it was just funny. It's just funny you can do that.
Well, I guess
But,
Raiden is a bit of a femboy.
Yeah.
In 2 particular, he gets much more badass later.
Oh man, I do want to go back and play all of them now though. I'm still hoping Metal Gear Solid 4 to be ported to PC.
I hope it's ported and not shit. And that's kind of the thing I'm worried about, is that Konami is just gonna like fart out a cheap PS3 emulator version of it that's gonna be capped at 30 FPS and it's gonna be terrible. But yeah, fingers crossed that they do a good job.
Yeah. See, would you rather watch She-Hulk or Acolyte again?
We didn't watch She-Hulk.
We didn't watch She-Hulk.
Yeah, I've never seen She-Hulk either, so I don't know actually. And so maybe She-Hulk, I guess, but
yeah.
Then that's also new stuff that's gonna bother me. So maybe just Acolyte.
Because you already know what's coming. You already know it's garbage. See, Rough Knight says, I'm betting MGS Delta comes out next year in the year of the snake. That could be.
Well, I really hope that that's not the determining factor for when they're gonna launch it, because like I want them to do a good job and for it to be finished.
Yeah, that is true.
If they can do it, good. But I hope they're not being like, okay, we have to release it on this day, and if it's not done by then, don't worry, release it anyways. They'll be fine. It has Metal Gear on the title. They'll buy it.
Yeah. See, Ash Archer says, I was disappointed by MGS Phantom Pain. It was unfinished.
It was unfinished. I think it's a very good game, though. I still think it's probably the best stealth action game ever made as far as the gameplay is concerned. The story could use some tuning, I'd say. Although I still think it's all right. It's pretty good.
Yeah. See, I played MGS2, MGS2 and 3 portable, Peace Walker, Acid, and then 5, but didn't play 4.
Yeah, 4 you can only get on PS3 right now or the RC PS3 emulator.
Man. See, Raiden in MGS2 gets mistaken as a woman by the president you're meant to save, whom grabs his crotch. Weird scene. What? That's actually pretty funny.
Oh yeah, no, that's in Metal Gear Solid 3. It's not Raiden. It's a guy who Radenovich, who's like Raidenovich, he's like a Soviet officer, but it's Raiden's character model.
Ah, I see. Phil wanted to see a video game character's bunghole. I got news for you. Q's Guts theme. Oh man,
I hate that's how most people know Guts theme now.
Oh man, wait, is that theme actually Guts theme?
Yeah, it's from Berserk, 1997.
I still need to watch that, man. I didn't even watch that one.
It's a nice piece of music. It's like actually it really is. It's very good and it's moving, but like it's used in the most meme way ever.
You see, if you like breakdowns, check out Max Durnit. All right, will do. See, MGS Delta is supposed to come out the same sometime this year. All right. See, MGS2 Raiden was very feminine. All right, let's see. Have you guys watched Avatar? Not the blue people, but the series. And if so, have you seen the live action series?
The live action one. We reviewed the live action one. We thought it was mid. It was kind of okay-ish. Yeah.
What about you, Mark? Have you seen Last Airbender? The animated one?
No. Oh, the animated one, yes. Yeah. Not the new series.
Yeah, the new one's not that great. It's okay at best. Everything feels super, super rushed. All right. All right. Do we have anything else, Grae?
Nah.
I don't think we have anything else. Mark, you have anything you want to bring up, or
just this puppy? I guess tomorrow we're doing Beetlejuice on Metal's Forge. If you want to come hear us talk about Tim Burton's Beetlejuice from the 80s.
Ooh, that's a good
90s.
one. Are you looking forward? Are you looking forward to the second one?
Not like I don't know. I haven't even watched the trailer for it, to be honest. But we just figured we'd do Beetlejuice in the next one next week. So yeah, I like the original though a lot. I watched that movie a lot when I was a kid, and we watched it recently, and it holds up pretty well. Michael Keaton's very funny in it.
Yeah. I forgot that it actually has like what rating was it? Was it PG-13?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. Like
It's
it was a movie we all watched when we were kids. Like it's like there's scary elements to it, but there was also like a Beetlejuice cartoon show back like in the 90s. So I don't know. It's one of those things that everybody just ended up watching, and it's that like Nightmare Before Christmas kind of scary, right? Where it's like it's scary, but it's like it's very artsy scary.
And I forgot that like I know like back then, like usually when there's like an F bomb, like an F word that like something that drops, like I usually think it's automatically rated R, is because it was like nice fucking model, right? So it's like I was like, wait, I forgot it has he drops an F bomb in that movie. So maybe back then they weren't like super strict on it.
People die in it, but there's no blood from what I could see. But I mean, there are things like all the people who work at the like I guess you could say like DMV kind of office, like the public service office in the Land of the Dead. They like the girl that they first see has like slit wrists, and then like there's a guy that's going around handing out papers, and he's like on a noose. And you find out that the punishment for suicide is you become a civil servant in the afterlife. So it's like.
I want to go back and watch it.
You find that out after you've seen a bunch of them too, so then it kind of clicks. It's like, oh, that's why they all had like suicide like injuries.
Yeah, I definitely want to rewatch that for sure, because I know that the movie's coming out in like a week and a half, September 9th. So I know my wife is super excited. Like she's a huge Burton fan. Like she's like her favorite movie is Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's just she loves Tim Burton. But yeah, 1988. Oh yeah. It's PG-13. 88 is a good year. It's the year I was born. It's a good year. It's a very good year. But all right. Mark, thank you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it was awesome to get to see X-Ray Girl too, as earlier for a cameo. Yeah. But other than for tomorrow, what are you up to? Where can people find you?
Like I said, got medals for tomorrow. We're talking about Beetlejuice. I'm on Cyborg Mark on Twitter. My link tree's there with pretty much everything. You can find me on Steam. And I'm around. I'm married to that X-Ray woman.
We definitely do want to have you back. It's because like when it comes to video game like knowledge, like no one tops you. I feel like like everything, like weird obscure things that no one knows about. Like it's usually
I've been playing them for a very long time, and a lot of them, and I remember a lot. I guess that's probably the thing.
That's cool. And Grae, what are you up to, man?
I'll be next week. I'm on vacation for a week, so I'll be writing. I'll take that chance to write the Chrono Trigger video, so I can finally complete it on my main channel. And I'll be also finishing review on Fairy Tale episode 2. I know I haven't shared the channel, so I'm compiling a few episodes first before I share it. But episode 1 is out there. Maybe someone can find it. Fairy Tale episode 1 review. But I'm liking it so far. So I do plan on making it a regular, so that I'll be pushing that one instead. So like every week there's gonna be a new episode, rather than waiting a long ass time for me to release my next video. So stay tuned for on my end. Yeah.
All right, cool. And you can find me everywhere at Mr. Phillip Chan. If you want to follow my personal YouTube, subscribe to Mr. Phillip Chan 2. Other account is now called Phil's Backup or whatever. And I've been playing Black Myth Wukong. I just got to chapter 5. And the cool thing is that if you're like an artsy person like myself, you love art. Mark, you said that you went to you majored or you went to art and film school or something like that, right? Earlier. And there's in between each chapters, there's actually like an animated session, like a short in between each chapter. It's actually pretty well done. Between chapter 2 and 3, there is a stop motion animation, which is just really, really cool too. Stories are actually really well done. So yes, follow, subscribe to everyone, Grae, MarcTheCyborg, and follow us everywhere. We are also on X. And we're also live on Rumble as well. But yes, thank you so much, Mark, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Definitely want to have you back. And anything else, Grae? Nothing else?
Nothing else.
All right, cool. And that's it for our show. Thank you guys so much for joining us for Project Eggroll episode 93. Yeah, we got 7 more until we hit 100. That's going to be crazy. All right. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. We will see you guys next week with more Project Eggroll. Like I said, follow Cyborg Mark, Linktree in the description. Go ahead and follow him. He's super, super cool guy. And hopefully we
sleepy puppy.
Yes. And hopefully we get to meet you in person. I'm trying to make it out to SpaceCon. I know there's some meetup or something like that there.
That's at the end of October.
Correct.
Yeah, the X-Ray Girl will be there, but I won't.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully I can meet you again. I know that, like you said, like going to London and stuff like that was a lot and stuff.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna try to save some money this year, so I might be doing a little less traveling. But like I said, I want to try to get to QuakeCon, which is in Dallas in August. So
all right,
maybe
cool.
there'll be something else going on around there.
Awesome. And when we end the stream, you guys will be, if you're still on, you guys will be automatically rerouted to Yellow Flash's Flashcast. All right. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and we will catch you guys next time. Take care.
Think about that, Rocky. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.